on fire on the other side.
And earlier on, kaya lang talaga dito ang MTX Caliper is those particular strats. Alam naman nila na meron talagang Fearless Argus. There's a way to actually tackle them on. And that is how we've seen other universities also, how they can take on to a good stand against a VA. But that's just the keys to, of course, unlocking one by one the secrets of VA. And that is how MTX Caliber needs to execute here in Ascent. And Ascent, it's just of course a favorite map ka talaga aside from Bind that I usually cast sa sa UAC last time. So talagang pagdating naman dito when it comes to the best of 3 here in Ascent, obviously MTX Caliber, hopefully talaga makuha nga nila ito. Especially kanina, there are just some little of a mishaps coming in from MT, and maybe in the second map they'll be able to, of course, improve on what they have. But on the other side, VA, we all know every map has been a real consistency para sa kanila, especially earlier on. Si Guelson talaga sobrang particular na kanyang Reyna with those styles that he've been doing, just anchoring his side. While on the other side naman, we're seeing, of course, one by one with how Gio, together with his teammates, really go with a good progress out of them. Pero nga lang, as we're gonna be having a technical pause, big shoutouts to those who have been commenting here sa Twitch side and of course here. And mukhang after the technical pause, we're gonna be having already ang kanilang pistol round. Having 8k at least, he gets so at least 2 kills kagad. At isa-isa na talaga silang magkakaroon ng control need. But oops, let's not deny DD, and he gets 2 naman talaga kagad. Downing the numbers back to the 3 guys remaining. Pero with that one, Guelson gets a frag, and last one will be DD and himself finish off my realist. And after that quick take from Tavi on the first few seconds of that round, and even if 2 from them has been picked off, still VA will be winning the pistol.
Now, the heat check continues. Sabi, oy, ready na kayo? Gising na kayo? Handa na ba kayo? That's the question Virtus Arcus asks Excalibur right now. And what happens is Excalibur's like, wait, why are you pushing? Why are you here in the middle? And because of that, Savage is getting such a quick flurry of kills there to get 2 on the board. Not only that, just the push there from Realist Acer was Guelson and Yao. It really feels like such a united front here for the side of Virtus Arcus, but Excalibur on the flip side, they're gonna have to deal with that gun disadvantage, and this is where Virtus Arcus loves to just enjoy themselves and play with their prey. So Guelson now gonna be backing on away. Acer was so in the meantime holding the Ares down the vault things. He was thinking about going for the wall banks, don't want to be main. Nanoswarm gonna be into play as well. And Savvy right now finds one already. Goodbye to Dinosaur. You are extinct one more time, but this is a good call from Excalibur. Rotate towards A, but Realist is the one waiting right now by A main.
Realist, once again, he's just gonna be playing with the stars, but then knowing that there's just 2 guys now half HP sa MTX Caliber, Virtus Arcus can just really confirm this one out, and seems like one of them will just be going one by one as to where Realist is. Lahat talaga nakuha niya just because of having those spray downs, and VA will be confirming this round, make this in the 2-0, but the question is not near end screens. And this is just really the start. Nakuha pa rin nila. Kahit may 5-minute break na tino ni Rere, kita-kita niyo pa rin nadadala ng VA ang kanilang momentum.
Yun talaga yung isang moment na gusto ko sabihin, Caster start the game eh. But Caster's calling for the break, just ko naman. But then again, I do have to notice this for the side of Excalibur. If they realize that the site is open, they are gonna go for it. And it's something like a trap that Virtus Arcus can spring on them more often than not. Realist there, playing onto A main. He was able to spray people down by the generator and more. So it's 2-0 scoreline right now. But since Savvy has been playing the Sheriff for quite a while, he has the operator to change the pace. And I love this kind of gamble for these third rounds. Everyone else gonna be playing the Eco. You're gonna be playing this operator. Worst case scenario, you have to play the Blades later on. But as the shot comes here, Ray, seems like Excalibur is still gonna be fine. The rifles, though, they might be at risk if Savvy gets even better sight lines here, especially in the midpoint. And that's gonna be a challenge from the Reyna, I believe. Will Savvy be able to get that take? That Wilson, though, in the meantime, gonna fall to the hand of Wahahaha. And the step up they're looking for, it seems like this can be the start of something new. And there you go! The evil laugh will cackle on! And they're moving towards a site with a 2-man advantage.
Talaga may evil laugh talaga. Yan siguro ang key para talaga makuha mo ang frags with that mwahahaha doings as we only have out together. Of course, we'd have the 8k at this retake going up against 5. Pretty much hard to do as all of them will just be watching where they're going to be expecting them. And it's going to just be looking, of course, here. Sabay rafters. And finally, with those crossfires coming right through Yao, sobrang hirap na talaga magkaroon ng mga entries as we only have Heavy at hinahanap na nga kagad siya ng mga miyembro ng MTE. But he is just gonna be hiding here in both house at mukhang pwede din may possibility na mag-audition sa kanya rather, pero it's pretty hard of course to take him down with that operator once he held down onto that one. He's just gonna be hiding, pero wala na din siguro enough time left just to pick off where he is, and at least he'll be able to save that operator and continue towards the next round.
Yeah, that's a good call right here from the side of Verdes Arcos. Save that op. Make sure that Savvy doesn't have to throw his life for absolutely nothing. And that's because Wilson, he lost out on the Cubby. Perfect push there from Wahahaha. 1, 2, and 3 for him. And this is where MTE Excalibur can make a difference, because so far the game is relatively sound. They're playing many of the default strategies in a good manner, but again, they were lacking that entry punch. Yung unang suntok talaga hinahanap nila doon, Ray. And this time, at least in that round, we saw the Jet be able to bring that out. Pero ito na, yung mga baril dito ng Versus Arcos, they're gonna be out and about. And we got the Odin, we got the operator, and we're watching out and waiting for Savvy to peek this one. But here we go, I Am Dinosaur still alive, and it seems like Savvy's not hitting these first shots with the up for now.
Di na talaga I am the hunter. Ito na, I am the dinosaur. And Guelson, he knows that they're just gonna be pushing right through. Wow, takes a realist already. They all know where these guys go with your default plans here in Ascent. But it seems like he wants to at least try to secure the frag. He gets a piece to tap. And they can actually win this one out against the guys of MTE Excalibur. They're just gonna be going down one by one. 4v3s na kinakuha na nga rin sila na kanilang mga baril. But here it is. They make the move. They already have enough information as to where they is, and that the audience seems like it's on a streak. He gets one. It's going to be wahahaha. As Guelson also give a good distraction on towards the holds that meron ang MTE Excalibur. And finally, still, they win this one out. Going to be 3-1 VA. Even if there has been some underhands, at least kapag dating sa mga talagang tutok pa lang, they are able to make it.
Come on, last round. Guelson lose round. Guelson lose fight. Guelson now angry, and Guelson kill everyone. That Sheriff at the very start, picking up that rifle along the way, and just a natural synergy, honestly. Between Guelson and Savvy 8K, how many times have we seen them just either go for the in and out, just dance right now, go for the tango. And you notice there, the operator shot is the distraction, and Guelson is that coup de grace at the very end. So stellar effort again from Verdes Arcos. Give them the guns, they're ready to go. But since MTE Excalibur is only down by 2 right now, they still have a gun by here, Ray. They're still ready to fight, but between the Ascent special, the operator, the Odin, ready for Verdes Arcos, and of course the potential pop out as is Guelson, it's still gonna be a difficult task here for Excalibur because they are on their pushes. A lot more, I'd say, security in the victories, and compared more sure for the side of Excalibur, but Ultimates in the meantime for Verdes Arcos, they're gonna have the Reyna and the Astra available. They did go for the Blade Storm already. Now the flip side, Excalibur ready with that Omen TP as well as the Reyna pop-off mode. But here they come, Ray Excalibur waiting at B main, but Savvy already slices through the air and gets the first kill.
It's pretty important because once again, just because of those crossfires, and Javi gets the first, of course, share of his loaf. Mukhang mahirapan na naman ang MTE Excalibur. If you're this Argus, they can just collect, of course, those guns that MTE previously has. And going up against 2, this is pretty hard for them to get right through. He can use the TP, but it's not going to be worth it anymore, knowing that there's just 3 guys looking at him. Thrifty round just because of Javi using, of course, his knives. And here it is, Verdes Arcos. Even if MTE can be able to, of course, open up those sides, but unfortunately, with how Verdes Arcos wants to be outstanding and really confident with how he wants to take that on, Verdes Arcos, it's not still impossible for them to get, of course, ang kanilang dominance here in Ascent.
Yeah, but that was such a successful eco death box, basically. As soon as they saw the push from Excalibur coming in from B main, not only was Savvy ready all the way by the spawn side, but also we had here by the Speedway contest, we had that that side contest, and Virtus Arcus making the best out of a suboptimal situation and making sure Excalibur will pay for their lives. So this is a big win here for Virtus Arcus because so far it has been Excalibur keeping with parity in terms of the eco. With just that win a while ago, this is now gonna put a big dent on the Excalibur economy. Virtus Arcus crunching those guns, and if they win this round again, it's Excalibur right now gonna be on a heavy back foot. And speaking of the back foot right now, and speaking of the backline, look at this, a triple stack Ray Ray. Para naging attackers yung Virtus Arcus. They're just gonna go for the push. Savvy right now using that hut that you don't see too often to get the angle onto A main. And another creative play here for Virtus Arcus. They just have the guts to do it. Or tuloy-tuloy lang talaga eh.
Of trust that you have for your teammates. You get those type of game styles, and yet talagang lahat sila, okay, it's fine, you make those decisions, it's okay, we're gonna be doing that, and no holds barred, we can still make it. And finally, 5-2 in favor of Virtus Arcus still, and after the full buy from MT, they don't have much of a choice, but of course, go with the Sheriffs once again. And kahit nga may mga particular strats sila, but you don't know how to read VA sometimes, and that's how they have those cards up ahead and kicking. And here it is, they just want to push through here in middle itself, but will Gwelson actually get one through it? Yep, he gets it, and all of them will just be sitting as to where MTE right now, and they are currently stuck as we only have BDN here in top mid. It's all of them will just be fighting as to where he is. Oh no!
Alala mo yung Beyblade? Savvy decided to become the Bit Beast himself. Ikot lang.
I think he was a fan of Beyblades dati. He played Beyblades. Yung color blue pa. Yung may dragon pa. Yung
Oo nga, di ba? Ano yun, di ba? May dragon, may ibon, may tiger. Tapos may turtle. Yes! Let's go! May turtle! May turtle. Yung ano, yung American boy, siya yung ano, siya may turtle. Alala mo ba? Di ba kapat sila? I remember my Beyblades. Pero ang tanong, ano next? So we get, Crush Gear, Savvy,
yeah, that is what I'm
also
also
thinking. Slam into it. It really feels like blast from the past. And kawawa naman si BDN, he got blasted there by just 5 people running at him. But speaking of the 5 people run, here we go. It's a marathon right now, a sprint rather actually, for the side of Excalibur. And at the very least, the fun run will end by a sight. But here we hear it. Empress has been popped for Ray. Excalibur wanting the eventual loss, but the lockdown gonna be the play. Hunter's Fury gonna be the call in response. And here we go with the ultimate. Wilson from up top though might be able to see one here. That's gonna be such a different angle right now. Cosmic Divide gonna be heard as well. And Virtus Arcus right now getting a bit of the advantage here. 3v3. We do have Excalibur on the A main side, but the Nano Swarms are perfectly placed here. And Savvy, he's only gonna have 15 HP, but that sacrifice of the HP department gonna help them out with the defuse there. But unfortunately, the lockdown right now gonna put the hands of the Astra up. There we go with the Recon Dart. Savvy knows it's gonna be a last stand, but yo! A sneaky boy decides to just go for it! And Excalibur too late on the peak! They didn't know that it was halfway because of the Cosmic Divide! And Yao just gonna scream, "Wow, I've done it here!" And if Virtus Arcus taking that one just under the nose of Excalibur.
Oh, konti, just few shots, and Excalibur, they can still get it. But unfortunately, sabi ko nga, kahit ba hindi lahat sa kanila dito pro players, but fake don't pros? Pros don't fake.
The thing...
Wala,
No, the thing is, they're still on point. Like, Savvy gets halfway, and he's like, guys, na-half ko na yan, kaya mo yan. Tigil lang, tiwala lang. And the Asher decides to go into real. Sabi ko, hindi, sige, I can up-round the detain. And then it worked. Ikaw, Yao, your turn. Your time to shine. Acer was still with the operator on him. And Virtus Arcus knows that Excalibur is gonna go for that A site, but they also know that they can't do the same thing as before. This time, it's gonna be more of the combat. That's gonna be Wilson getting on the board, and here comes DA yet again.
But here it is, just by him throwing off those leers, mahirapan na nga isang miyembro para sa kanila pumasok here in the side. But that itself, those lineup na naman, magkoconnect na naman as to where it is, as we only have Dinosaur. Unrealist secures the last 2 frags. And that is how Realist and this lineup really goes with a good impact sa kanilang team. And at the same time, those holds itself, a lot of confusion happened as to how MTE wants to get that through. And Virtus Arcus, alam nila, fast rotations, because MTE, once they committed to the side, there's no way that they'll be bailing out of it. And that's how that's how Virtus Arcus is just reading them. But unfortunately, tignan naman natin on the other side, how will MTE Excalibur execute naman sa B set? Because kanina, could have been, of course, a good one, but unfortunately nga, medyo nasasayang lang just because of those holds, and they're really afraid with that double operator setup coming sa Viridis Arcus.
Classic yan that's a real old school ascent. Pero sabi mo, sayang lang. Okay yun.
Sayang lang.
Galing yung
Sayang
accent pa talaga eh. But hey, look VA, they're up by 6 right now. They're looking to dominate and looking to win this game as soon as possible. Ray, parang ano sila eh. Parang may resort silang pupuntahan or something eh. Hindi ko na lang alam kung mag-vacation nga, but it really feels like life's a party and Virtus Arcus is the host right now. 2 kills on the board already. Excalibur in the meantime just trying to make it through the gates of A in the first place. But here we go again. You see A main, that's all Excalibur gets. Everywhere else, Virtus Arcus already has that map control. Paranoia getting it thrown all over just to pretend they're behind, but it's still gonna be realist right now, getting that takedown. And it's now 5v2. The pinch is coming. The Sanders here, and the Sanders guys that are Virtus Arcus right now are on the hunt yet again. Sinusquish na nga palaman dito, and it's a flawless victory for Virtus Arcus. Come on, it's the same standard that we see from them time after time. Ray, you give them an inch, they will take a mile, and they will take the map.
They know how to really stand up to how they want to execute. Every single round is really important sa Virtus Arcus. And even if may mga creativity lang naman sila, but when it comes in all seriousness, let's be real, VA still has the upper hand talaga. And MT Excalibur, we're waiting for them to actually pop through. But just because of a quick few denials from Virtus Arcus, especially with this audit setup, they will just be spraying right through us to where they are. And looks like may una na nga naging biktima. That's going to be Mwahaha himself. But sa service, medyo seryosa. Meron siya ngayong talagang a vandal. Sentinels of Light pa yan. Gusto ko yung skin na yan. And seems like, oof, MTE, they are able to survive. Gets down to 3v2 is what we have. But Wilson will just be holding off his angles here in mid. And they already know where they are as realists. 6 straight through, and DDN na lang ang natitira as he takes this very sobrang passive lang, pero may kita na nga kagad siya ni Realist, and 10-2 sa pinaka-unang half between these two. And maybe MT Excalibur on this defending side, if they win this pistol, maybe they can get that momentum and finally get through na makakahabol sila sa 8th round deficit.
Am I with Ray right now? I'll give you a chance again to read that scoreline. I heard from what? 10-2 from Ray?
Oh, yes. I'm a changed person.
Us. I don't think you're the hindi kasi Ray, ikaw lang si Ray. Yun lang. Ray 1X, hindi ka Ray 2X.
That's the name of my dad. Why are you calling my dad?
Come on, he has a hype as the collection. The collection.
Yes.
Ganda ng collection. Ganda ng mga picture mo tuloy. Pero it's picturesque here for Virtus Arcus. They just had a small table meeting like, guys, saan tayo punta after dito? Because if they can keep this up, MT Excalibur is gonna get overrun. But we know in this game, we saw the step up from the duelist. It really was a better effort from I Will Destroy You as well as Mwahaha. And if they can win this pistol, it's at very least the reset that they're looking for. But Gwelson, not for this cam, not for this broadcast. Be good, keep it clean, Gwelson. But there we go right now. No, we're gonna see the push. Wala tayong nakita dun. But Mwahaha, I told you the duelists right now, they're really doing a better job compared to the first game. And they're looking to go for a few more kills. So at the very least, the speed here of Virtus Arcus has been slowed. There is going to be more of a crawling pace right now for Virtus Arcus because they initially lost the entry point that they were looking for.
Waiting lang talaga ang Virtus Arcus. Pero Gwelsa, di namin nakita yan, promise.
Wala nakita.
Wala nakita. Hindi nila nakita ng mga audience. Walang magkiklip nun.
30 seconds left.
Bren rather. Javi from Bren. He wants to take up, of course. Nauna kasi siya. Medyo, nakita naman talaga natin na pro player din talaga si Javi after being really popping off sa collegiate scene. But here it is. He wants to cry through with this arcane sheriff. Pero nga lang, wala nang enough time left. Pero still, they need to clear out everything. Pero delayed na nga Virtus Arcus ngayon. And seems like it won't work sa the last round. And finally, that's what I'm talking about. If MTE will just be winning this pistol, maybe they can still get this right through against Virtus Arcus. And shortening, of course, ngayon from 10-2 scoreline, magiging 10-3. Hindi natin
No.
pabalikin that.
Okay. I like talking about the underdog from 2-10 to 3-10 real quick. That's the thing. Pero, masabi ko na yung Virtus Arcos actually, their antics pregame, kinda screwing them over there because they took way too long on that rotate. They already got basically caught by the likes of Mahaha. And with Wilson dying early on, they just completely abandoned that A push. But I have a question for you, Ray. Because you mentioned the skin. Arcane Sheriff, the boss, Mahaha has to disengage there from the Astra. In one word, how would you describe Arcane?
You know what? This is why I like to cast with Dax kasi he bullies me every time na we cast. One word, gusto ko talaga, fantastic!
Ako may one word sa'yo pero hindi ko pwede sabihin ngayon. But you know what I'll have to say? Mwahahaha and I will destroy you, at least getting the kills that they need. Again, more confidence for the Jet and the Reyna, even more firepower and even better performance here from the side of MTE. But Yao still gonna get on the board there, shutting down the powers of I will destroy you. And Realist gonna fall on down. Yao gonna die here as well. And Acer was with the last stat in the middle, trying to set up a picnic, but it's DDN kicking him while he's down. So 10-4 right now. Virtus Arca still in the lead, of course. They had such a big streak here of around 7 rounds at the end of that first half, but at least it's a start of something new here for Excalibur, and they're not gonna get completely steamrolled here, Ray, because they have rounds to give now. They will know that Virtus Arcos will have the guns, but in terms of the economy, they should be good for the next one as well, or at the very least, the next round if the worst comes to worst.
This is how Virtus Arcos, makakabawi na ba sila after losing the pistol together with their, of course, the second bonus para sa side ng MTX Caliber, losing that one, really upping up MTX Caliber after being destroyed on the first half. Talagang ngayon yung chance that they can get this, and I know na marami talagang nagkakaroon ng malalaking comeback, and instead of having those talagang dominance from VA, meron talagang contender, and that's going to be MTX Color. But seems like Wilson, he gets TD on the particular angle coming right through sa may T side, and I will destroy you. Yan ang pangalan niya. He will be destroying two guys coming right through sa VA, and he gets the 3K na kagad. Dalawang nagpapakita sa kanila. Could have been an ace, but there's just one left. That's going to be Yao going up against two guys, but the defending side of MTX Caliber is still up and kicking, making this into a 10-5, and that's what we're talking about. The great stories here in Ascent. Proven and tested na, and baka ito talaga ang inaabangan coming out to the side of MTX Excalibur.
Yeah, they're still on it here for MTE, and this is looking to be so much better for them. Besides, of course, the Reyna and Jet top fragging, the better positioning right now, and seeing Virtus Arcos flood like that, just put themselves in such a tight angle versus the peaks there of MTE Excalibur. That's where they really fall. That's where they get basically destroyed. And how many times have we seen it here from the side of MTE on the defending side? It's just they have these angles that they know they can get out of if ever things go awry. But right now, I'll destroy you and wahahaha, the edgy combination, too edgy for me. This duelist duo slowly gonna be trying to hold things off on that A side. Virtus Arcos in the meantime, at least keeping an eye out, looking to go for that pinch. And it's gonna be an A split right now that Quilson is trying to open on up, but no, he's gonna get shut down there by DDN. Savvy in the meantime wanting this orb as soon as possible. And the real question is, will we get the peak there from the side of Excalibur? No. Savvy right now will get at least that ultimate point here, Ray. And I think for Virtus Arcos, it might be a rotate towards B site, and if that orb is still available, Savvy is gonna hunt for it again.
He just wants to really get this. It's not impossible for the side of the Virtus Arcos to still win their Thrifties. We've seen that in Icebox, and it's not impossible for them to get once again in Ascent, and that can be a big advantage that they have. Pero nga lang, with just TB and watching it do the tap itself is there, and narinig na nga kagad yung service ko nasaan siya, pero that was just a good trade coming from Wahahaha. But at least they already got that information as to where the Jet is. Nilabasan na lang muna nila ngayon ng kanilang, of course, namili ko that CCTV, but unfortunately, he won't connect right through, and Realist with those flanks. So once again, he tries to pop through. That's going to be I Am Dinosaur getting him, but 8 HP in a dream. Will still he be getting this against Javi together with Yao?
And there you have it. Spike has been planted, and Virtus Arcus playing their patient game really, really well. They got those sheriff taps that they needed. They've moved on over to that A side and trying to at least psych out the opposition. But Savvy, are you serious? In a round like this, you're still gonna go for the knife, and he does it! Savvy, AK the mad lad! No matter what, he wants to put on a show, and that's going for another highlight reel play for him.
Oh my
God, bakit mo gagawin yon?
That was really crucial, Abby.
Bata ka.
A lot of surprises. Earlier on, sa Icebox, nakita natin sila on that last round. Buti na lang, wala lang time. Pero kasi ngayon, man, that was really crucial, Abby. And we've seen a lot of those knife highlights in sa may rafters na hindi siya nagiging successful. And Abby just dashed right through. And I think nagulat si I Am Dinosaur when it comes to that. It looks like I Am Dinosaur won't be able, of course, to destroy that lockdown. It's not going to work.
Can't get over it. But for the circus now, 5v3. The evil laugh gonna get one, gonna get two! And it seems like the Blade Storm is gonna be the goal, gets the third! And it is gonna be the evil villain right now, standing tall for the time being. 3v2 situation. Gonna get caught in the gravity well though, and he's hunting down the remaining members here of Virtus Arcus. DDN though gonna get on the board. It's now gonna be all left to Realist, and suddenly it's jet for jet, it's play for play, and there you have it. Empty Excalibur, not gonna get shaken whatsoever by that play, but still between the knife kill from Savvy a while ago and the Blade Storm right now from Wahahaha, the past two rounds have really given life to this game here, Ray Ray.
Sabi nila that earlier knife. Of course, we still need the pop-off, but hey, let's be real. He just looked at the three guys of Virtus Arcus, just wants to rush right through, not afraid of anything, but just denied them. And after that 5v3, they just trimmed it down to what? A 2v3 situation. And still, they want to make this right through, even if dalawa na lang bago manalo ang Virtus Arcus. Big shoutouts to Dad Fem. Hello. Helicopter. Here it is, the helicopter, but then the knives already has been pulled out by Javi. And siya naman ngayon ba ang magkakaroon ng knife highlights? It's what we've seen from Wahahaha. But at the same time, looks like I will destroy you. The two duelists really wants to make it work here sa side ng A side. And speaking of, na-deny na kagad ang isa, but Javi finally destroys. I will destroy you, but won't be able to get the kill as he is already down to 5 HP.
Yeah, 5 HP indeed. And if he still goes for a knife kill right now, ewan ko na lang talaga. But then, Virtus Arcus, they do want to keep an eye out for this A site. And Realist, he's going to be dealing with the jet there on the other side and forcing Wahahaha to dash on away for the time being. Still, MTE putting up such a big effort here on the defense. We saw in Icebox that their defense really felt like it was a lot more secured compared to their attacking side. There was a lot more confidence. And coming into this map of Ascent, it does seem like this is something they're a lot more familiar with. And it really goes to show that the angles that they're taking right now do justice to that fact. Still though, Sova playing by Spawn for the time being, and DDN is just waiting here by the garden so far. Virtus Arcus, they made their last rounds work based on the timing. They're gonna try to do it again here, Ray. Cosmic Divide plus the Blade Storm is gonna be the call for now, and Virtus Arcus, peekaboo, that's gonna be the Omen seeing you, and another free kill here for Excalibur.
10 seconds left.
Not enough time, but he still have the time. And nga lang, the fact that it's just going to be a service going up against 3, it's really hard to go up against that. And still, MT Excalibur, they're making right through. Di imposible sa kanila na makabawi talaga. Pero 7-11 ngayon ang ating scoreline. And just by 4, and maybe just a little by little of their steps, plus that operator coming in from them, they can just deny Virtus Arcus from their aggressive playstyle sometimes. But here it is, eco rounds of Virtus Arcus. Yao will just be taking on, of course, ang hawak-hawak niya. Sobrang nakakatakot yan, guys.
Gano'n ka nakakatakot?
Baka kasing nakakatakot na mga horror movies or kaya kapag ginost ka. But here it is, Javi gets the first frag, grade 2 after him just pushing. Kung saan siya with that operator. 4v4 still. Pero sa mga gantong moments, alam naman natin yung mga taga-MTE, they still have the upper hands, especially with the Vandals and Phantoms that they have.
And the squad from Mindanao fully still fighting. I will destroy you though with Defiant onto Realist. And Virtus Arcus, they're just buying whatever they can for the time being. Should be an economy that lets them buy later on. But that's a perfect frag there from Savvy. And now Yao looking to go for the track and looking to destroy. I will destroy you as soon as possible. But still though, it's choices here for Virtus Arcus. They're not too secure as of yet where to go. They're getting the mid control for the time being. They're looking on around as well where their opponents can come from. And Savvy 8K is going to be a dangerous angle for him, but he still makes it work anyway. Quick reaction there, destroys Arena. I am Dinosaur in the meantime here by the site. And Virtus Arcus right now, they're looking to capitalize on that fact and try to make a 2v1 happen here. Ray, that's going to be the default boxes protecting the Killjoy for now. Yao, he might not see it, but Wilson will save him. And here we have it, Virtus Arcus putting that spike down. And it's going to be all up to Mwahahaha.
Evil laugh, will he get it? Sinong mas mauna? But the thrifty round execution, this is the second time they still make it work here in Ascent. It's going to be the determinator sa kanila na magkakaroon sila ng match point na. 12-7 is the key. And Avi, after that knife, mukhang nagkaroon pa talaga ng power-up sa kanya.
It was a good effort, diba? I gotta say, good effort yung Mohahaha. Look at him, 70 takedowns. I will destroy you with the 13. And it's good to see Excalibur really notice some of their flaws from the previous game and move to do better into the next one. But still, Virtus Arcus champions themselves, just completely different beasts right now. And in that last one, it was just because Savvy had an operator. Wahahaha hit a really good shot. Sayang na lang it wasn't the headshot that he was looking for, but it just goes to show how close this game can be. But a quick last minute pause. 1 second left, Ray. Biglang nagka-pause, and I feel like Excalibur, they just need it badly. They need to discuss how they're gonna survive here in the bracket. Kasi single elam lang to. If you lose today, you are gone from the MSI Gaming Arena. So it's gonna be a last breath, a last chance here for the side of MTE Excalibur to still stay on alive. But guys, if you love memes, gameplay, and other student life videos, check out Akad Arena on TikTok, follow at Akad Arena, and if you are part of our first 1,000 followers, you'll get the chance to win some of our weekly giveaways. Post or tweet with the hashtag AA TikTok giveaway to make your entry count. And I feel like, talaga, nako yung Savvy dash knife, magiging clip na naman yan dito sa Akad Arena by this point.
Once again.
Ang kulit
Pero alam niyo, mas maganda, yung makakita ka ng TikTok ng mga shoutcaster, that's going to be Dax.
Ay.
But let's see. With that laugh, 2-in-1 yan. But I'm still happy to see him really performing well, but looks like Wilson will just be swinging as to where he is. Takes down, of course, a top fragging member of guys of MT Excalibur. Pero nga lang, sumunod na nga din kagad si I Will Destroy You. And tatlo na lang kagad na natitira sa MT Excalibur, just a blink of an eye.
And there we have it now. Shock darts do fly on by. And on the inside, Guelson trying to be extra sneaky, but the scan will be able to see Gio there. And that's going to be goodbye to him as well. Excalibur, they're looking to be that King's Blade, but unfortunately, the crown is falling right now. And Virtus Arcus was able to just notch it like Robin Hood. Dinosaur, though, going to get one. Savvy 8K in the meantime with the kill onto DDN. It's all up to Dinosaur right now. But here we go again. The knives is out. The dash is there. And it's time to hunt for the Apex Predator of the prehistoric era. Dinosaur going to be able to get one, looking for a second. Savvy in the meantime trying to go for the knife himself, and eventually the backstab will come. Ang kukulit na ito ng Virtus Arcus, but they deserve that victory. 13-7 at the very end. And you always know these guys, the knives are out, and we're having Dinosaur for tonight.
Quarters, a clean 2-0 from Virtus Arcus really tells us that this team is still outstanding on the collegiate scene. Sabi nga natin, the fact that they're really dominant, wala pa silang natatalo ever na crown sa UAC, tells us so much that when it comes here into MSI University Championship, they have what it takes to be crowned also as champions, as they're gonna be proceeding to, of course, semis natin coming right through next week. And this is pretty exciting dahil Dax talaga, kitang-kita mo kung ano yung performance nila, even if there were just some creative game style, not something you expect out of them, but when it comes in all seriousness, they're able to execute it properly, even if may chances na talaga ng MT Excalibur to get momentum and maybe tie up the scoreline.
I think the biggest thing right now is Virtus Arcus was able to play the way Virtus Arcus wants to do in the first place. How many times have we seen them? If they know that it isn't broken yet, that their opponent hasn't found out the solution, then they're gonna keep going at it again and again and again because they have that confidence that they are the best team in the collegiate circuit. And Excalibur, they put up a really good fight there, especially on that ascent map. On Icebox, we saw the pop off the Viper and the Killjoy. Here on the set, we saw the Duelers really step on up. And for Excalibur, this is a really good lesson. They're learning more and more about the higher echelons of the basically the UAC / Akad Arena circuit here at MGA. It's going to be another factor, and it really shows us that Excalibur is a team that has been impressive all throughout this year, and this is just going to be another instance for them. So learning lessons, maayos naman, pero talaga kung mag-dash knife na lang yung kalaban mo, medyo alam mo na dun ka natatalo, no, Ray?
Okay, talagang kapag naging power up pa nga kagad yung kanyang But something interesting lang that as we're gonna be seeing, of course, congratulations nga ulit sa Virtus Arcus and good game po to MTX Excalibur. I'm still looking forward to how you guys will be giving us, of course, a great performance sa mga upcoming university or campus tournaments that we have around the Philippines.
Yeah, but guys, it is time for us to go for a break. One more quarterfinals waiting for you, and that's the Apex Mouse Miracles versus Tela Tiger Soul. My name is Zax. I am here with Ray, and that is only the first one. Gotta say though, before we go, that this is the MGA University Championship, and it wouldn't be a thing without our amazing sponsors and partners. The tournament is powered by MSI, our official hardware partner, Globe Telecom, our official telco sponsor, and Twitch Student, our platform partner. We'll see you guys in just a bit. Don't go away. You are watching here at the MGA.
go, guys! We are back here in MSI University Championship. I am Rain, of course. Join me here is Ilustrado. And gaya nga na sinabi natin, guys, we have seen an intense month worth of qualifiers, but still, we're gonna be seeing the last guy, last team rather, kung sino man ang makakapasok here going into the semifinals, as of course, they will take the lion's share of 200,000 prize pool and prove themselves to be the best collegiate Valorant team in the country. And we have a lot of surprises coming in earlier on. This Arcus going up against Excaliburs, but right now we're into the last one. Whose team is going to be proceeding to the semis? Is it going to be Apex Tamaraos or Tele Tiger Sol? At nakita nga natin, guys, that these two are really on par with each other. But as for you, Illustrado, I think these two teams really has those capabilities side by side.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we just saw a couple of really good games there. You know, Virtus Arcus, so strong, immediately taking it 2-0, and for the most part, expecting natin maybe they might start to run away with this tournament. We do, however, have to start talking about game number 2, and that's going to be the second series of the day here. Of course, before I do that, I do want to take a moment really quick to thank our sponsors here. This live stream is brought to you by MSI Gaming. Some are PC, but we are gaming. MSI is no stranger in the engineering high-end motherboards. And with that, do check out the new MPG Z690 Carbon Wi-Fi, which supports the newly released Intel 12th Gen processors and super fast DDR5 memory. Because I know a lot of people still on that 4, but this is your chance to upgrade it right now. Loaded with advanced features and overwhelm any challenge, regardless if you're a gamer, a prosumer, or PC enthusiast. Now, for more information, do check out the MPG Z690 Carbon Wi-Fi on ph.msi.com. So yeah, let's go ahead and start talking about this upcoming game that we have on our hands. Apex Tamaraos, they're going to be going up against Tele Tiger Sol here. And this one, Ray, a little bit 50-50. Medyo mahirap ipredict kung ano talaga yung kalalabasan ng game na to because, you know, for the most part, these guys have such high peaks, have such high potentials. Pero minsan, we can't really predict how they're going to be performing on a certain day.
You know, I gotta agree with that. There are some times where a lot of teams can just take on against Tele Tiger Soul, but there are times where Apex Tamaraos are the ones who's just having those outstanding performance. And just basing on their performance during their qualifiers, it has been, of course, a clean one for them, having those wins side by side. And that is how Apex Tamaraos wants to prove here that they have that slot into going to the semis next week. But on the other side, let's not deny Tele Tiger Sol, even if they're somehow kind of inconsistent when it comes to their qualifiers here. Pero the fact that when it comes to UAC itself, on the collegiate scene, kapag nakita talaga natin sila, they've been really remarkable with their performance. Almost on par with the guys like Virtus Arcus, but still, they have that long journey talaga to have that. But looking at this too, very complicated to how they want to start it. But as we're gonna be going on to Icebox, I think both of these teams, they have those ups in this map. But when it comes to going up against bigger contenders, hindi talaga sila nagiging di talaga sila nagiging consistent all throughout. But let's see. And there were a lot of changes on their individual play styles, and this is the time that they can prove on their experience plus sa mga naging journey nila after their lose in UAC.
Yeah, so here we go into Icebox, and I mean, we shouldn't be expecting too many crazy picks here. I mean, we fairly have a good idea, you know, ever since VCT on what the standard meta compositions are. We might see the chamber. They're hovering over it, and I would be so excited to see it. Blade definitely considering it, and okay, they're just teasing us a little bit, and also over the Yoru. Pero alam naman natin na, you know, Yoru, it's actually a pretty okay pick on Icebox, but I don't expect them to lock it in here. For me, Apex Tamaraos, they're probably going to go for that Reyna. That's probably the choice here. Who's going to go double duelist setup? Who's going to go single duelist? It's looking like they're going to have a double duelist on both sides with one sentinel. Typical pick for Apex Tamaraos, nothing really too crazy. The only difference really being the Verns is going to be on the Sage. So I'd like to see, you know, that aggressive Sage pick onto Icebox. So makita natin kung we're going to see a battle Sage where they're going to see a little bit more passive, you know, how they approach the Sage, whether they got some crazy walls or whether they're just going to be seeing like good standard, you know, very much fundamentally strong Valorant here today from these collegiate teams.
And if you take a look, Ilo, on the last set of games that we had, ganito din ang meron sila. They just only have that one Sentinel their sentinel difference. It's going to be the Sage versus Killjoy, and looks like it's just the same roster lineup ng Asia na nakita natin as compared to the Icebox earlier on. And this is pretty interesting. Those post blasts, those alarm bots are really important. But then those consistencies when it comes to the heals, that's how Apex Tamaraos has the upper hand. And let's see if Teletiger's still on their attacking side, they will definitely use that Killjoy, and we've seen their Killjoy really pop off sa kanilang lineup right now. Well, onto the side of Apex Tamaraos, if their duelists will be getting those crazy ideas on how they want to tackle it on their defending, maybe they can get this a first map. But let's take a look at this as we're gonna be starting the best of 3 series between Apex Tamaraos and Teletiger Sol, starting on the first map, which is going to be an Icebox. But I really do like to tell you guys that this tournament, of course, is brought to us by MSI Gaming. Improve your game with the MSI Katana GF66. The Katana GF66 is equipped with the latest 11th gen Intel Core i7 processors and NVIDIA GeForce RTX 30 series graphics to deliver true gaming performance. The new Katana G466 is forged with the same care as a blade. Run fast and shine on the battlefield. The Katana G466 is available on all MSI concept stores and authorized dealers nationwide. But as we go here right through, mukhang sisimulan lang talaga ng Teletigers ang kanilang pagpunta here in A side. And there's just some trades coming from Blade together with After Rain, and Burrito hits the shot perfectly. At dalawa na lang kaga natitira sa Teletigers goal. But Kieron, he still makes it as he gets for that, as they still have the chance to get this right through. Low on HP na nga ang isa sa Tamaraos, and they are just waiting for those flanks to seek right through as to where they can see them after all. But After Rain is just with Burrito. Burrito right now, he can just go with the trade, pero After Rain pretty confident with how they want this one on. Pero nga lang the fact na mayroon nakaabang, that's going to be Kieron. Pero nga lang, Lychee asks for the backstab. Will he be able to take this one out? Dahil dalawa pang nakatingin sa kanila. He takes one, go to the 1v1. As he goes for a reload, After Rain gets him. And a remarkable start sa Apex Tamaraos on their defending side. Wins the pistol. Great advantage for them so that they can be able to buy those SMGs on the second round.
Yeah, really good execution to start of the game. That's going to be a lot of confidence for Apex Tamaraos as they get into the, the first pistol round. Able to, like you said, they get that SMG here and, get that confidence. It did come really close. We ended in like a 1v1 at the very end of it, though. A lot of it came down to timing, but we do see a lot of good, strong fundamental plays. A lot of good holds coming in for the Apex Tamaraos. Rotation came in just when they needed it, and that allowed them, I'd say, the great read that they needed to get into that round and take that first half. But now we're starting the second one. Napaka-importante mga kaibigan na makuha ang, again, the anti-eco round for Apex Tamaraos because they don't want to lose anything. But having said that, Blade getting a big 2 kills, gonna start the round off strong.
Blade, he just wants to be aggressive. Mga miyembro ng TGR going 1 by 1, but the fact that Apex Tamaraos, dami advantage talaga sila pagdating sa mga kanilang barrel. But as Teletigers, Sol, will they be able to hit those shots? They know they have a lot of information, but the fact na lahat tumitingin as to where Rage Kid is, Burns will just be getting a Lychee also. And after that, serious buys when it comes to their Spectres, they know that they'll be able to secure that round, making this into a 2-0. Denied nga lang ang Teletigers Sol, but looks like right now in their force buy, hindi pa rin nag-work out. So talagang medyo mahirap yung naging nangyari sa kanila just because of Blade getting those taps, of course, on towards his side. And finally, Teletigers Sol, kita mo naman that they will just be forcing, of course, those sheriffs in this round instead of the full buys, Ilu.
Yeah, really good start from Blade. A couple of sheriff kills. Sobrang sulit yung, it's like a 900 gun. Is it 800? I totally forgot. Oh my god, it's been so long since I've played. But yeah, again, cheap gun that you can buy at the very start. Didn't expect to get so many kills, but you actually got 2. That's more charges for the ulti there. And, Blade gonna start off for his team very much hot on the heels. Look at this push. Blade yet again getting the sneaky kill. Tries to get another one. Backed up by his teammate. Great play by Burrito. That's another early, really good start here by the Apex Tamaraos, and they're looking very strong.
kicking off very strong. They still really want to have that big dominance here in Icebox, and Lychee will be the last guy left, and Blade will be getting him on. Flawless execution sa Apex Tamaraos. Tigers kasi sumabay lang talaga sila sa first buy ng Apex Tamaraos because that was itself a 1v1. Pero nga lang, they can still get this right through. But as we see here, 3-0 is the key. And Apex Tamaraos, as what I've said, these collegiate teams, when it's just to them getting those momentum side by side, alam natin talaga na magiging advantage nila. And this is a sign where Apex Tamaraos can actually capitalize on it as the round will be starting. And here it is. After rain, it's just going to be anchoring this side, of course, with how we usually see those default plates coming from the Viper. But as Kiron makes a move here, if he gets the very first frag, and that's already a big determinator of how Teletiger's Soul wants to confirm this against Apex Tamaraos. But as Blade still, he just wants to cut right through on towards the connection that Teletigers wants to execute in A side. But will he be able to deny it as Rage Kid gets after Rain? Bawas na naman ngayon, nabawasan na lang Apex Tamaraos, and that is a sign itself that Teletigers still wants to confirm this, but always check the corners because Prince gets already Simon, and he can just switch up to his gun and wait right through, since this can be just an advantage of Apex Tamaraos. But unfortunately, as Rage Kid wants to really manipulate the side, he gets a pick off against Verns. 3 left na lang coming in from Apex Tamaraos as Rage Kid wants to pick off as to where they are. But on the other side, Apex Tamaraos will just play this passively, knowing that they're really undermanned, and Teletigers is on their way towards the B side. Cirque tries to clear out everything, and they know that they have it. Burrito gets a kill, but unfortunately trades off by Kiran, as it's only gonna be a 3v2. Low on HP na nga rin ng isa coming in from Apex Tamaraos. It's going to be error, but as he flanks right through, will he be able to get that? Unfortunately, no, because Kiran will be seeing him, and only Blade versus 3 as he wants to just hide right through. Deny lang niya talaga, pero nga lang, he needs to check out everything. Naglalaro na lang sila ngayon, and they can just finish off by Rage Kid, and that's going to be a round confirmed by Teletigers.
Yeah, really strong round for the Teletigers there, but again, you gotta remember, eco round lang yun para sa Apex Tamaraos. Not really eco, but it's kind of their bonus round. They have won everything before. They upgraded a little bit. They had a couple Vandals in their position, and that, helped them to net a couple of kills in their way, force a couple of rebuys from Teletigers. Now Teletigers, they gotta win this. They don't have the best buy right now. As you can see, you got two players who are basically on a fairly kind of low buy. Cirque, I don't exactly know if he has full armor. I think he's starting with less than ideal armor on this because he was deciding whether to go for a new half armor or not. But yeah, you have another player as well who does have half armor. So a couple of good pickoffs there for the side of the Apex Tamaraos to challenge the economy of Teletigers. And I like the idea to go for those pushes. They had a good couple of pushes towards B main. They tried to prod towards mid. That got them a couple of good picks. And they're starting strong again, because they have that Viper's Pit towards A, and this is really forcing Apex Tamaraos back. Teletigers back. Trying to think about paano natin papasukin to. Do we even try to go for A? Do we try to snuff out that Viper? And it's gonna make life so difficult for for Teletigers to just get in, to get close. Meanwhile, they already have a player pushing in close here with that shorty. Doesn't matter what you have, because close and personal like this might just be so deadly. So right now what Teletiger's trying to do, rotating, maybe try mid, maybe try mid.
This is just a lot of trial and errors to Teletigers, but then Verns with just a little bit of picks, he still gets right through, and the Rage Kid, he wants to start this one out. Yep, he starts the game to get rid of Cirque as still successful sila pumunta sa B side. They can just prevent them from coming right here with the setup with the help of Rage Kid, and TRP, the Apex Tamaraos guys, are just being denied ngayon. And nakita mo naman, ang daming mga cross by cross. Nagiging cross na nga ngayon na ang kanilang mga setups from their Vipers. But still, Teletigers, when it comes to them leading by one guy man up ahead, they can just deny TRP. But looks like Burrito, ayaw niya talaga ngayon magpatalo. He gets one-on-one, but Rage Kid, the fact that this Viper, he's been doing so much. After Rain, will just be going with the defuse. Hindi na pinitawan agad. And after him, taken on by Rage Kid, it was too late, just a second away into winning that side ng Teletigers. But Apex Tamaraos, you just go with the defuse, nothing to be ashamed of, nothing to be afraid of, and still gets that round.
Wow, really, Rage Kid just absolutely nerves of steel, just sticking that defuse up until the very last second. He does get taken down, but by the time that he actually gets killed, way too late. Apex Tamaraus, they steal away around. Don't get me wrong, it was expensive, and we'll probably see a timeout because it looks like a burrito actually just disconnected there. But still, you have to remember, that was a steal. That was a steal of a round. Apex Tamaraus had no business winning that. They were out of position, wala silang control over the site, and they still managed to take it anyway. So really well done from them, but it does bring a couple of questions to the post-plant scenarios here by Tigers. They were not ready for the Viper wall. They were not ready for the smokes that were brought out, the utility and the crossfire. I mean, not the crossfire, but the defense that was brought out there by Apex Tamaraw towards that B side. They did catch off Blade off guard, getting the timing on towards yellow, but even with a couple of kills in their pocket, Apex Tamraus, they still stole away that round. Really good stuff from them. And if this is any sign for Apex Tamraus, it's really good from them kasi pinapakita nila that they don't have to win just one way. They can win rounds in many different ways, whether it's by stealing away a round, by trying to ninja defuse. They can win by outgunning, by out-aiming, by tactically winning. Apex Tamraus have shown us how diverse they are as a team, how many ways they can actually win. And tell the Tigers they've only gotten lucky once.
Plus the creativity talaga when it comes to collegiate scene, especially in Icebox. We've seen those particular playstyles from them, and no denying the fact that earlier on, nakita nga natin yung Viridis Arcus, it's just the same how Apex Tamara's together with Tele Tigers wants to get this. But as we're seeing at Tactical Plus right now, big shoutouts to all of our viewers right now, because if you want to bring esports to your school, well, we have Acad Arena Alliance program. Alliance members get access to our exclusive tournaments, mentorship, event support, and of course the Acad Arena scholarship aid and power-ups. Learn how to join the Alliance today at acadarena.com/alliance and get updates by liking and following Acad Arena on fb.com/acadarena.gg. And of course, guys, speaking of scholarships, Acad Arena recently launched its newest cycle of scholarships that are open to all student gamers. So if you have siblings, cousins, friends, girlfriends, boyfriends who are in senior high school and college, they could apply for our scholarship grant. Simply visit acadarena.com/scholarships and get that pair. Here it is. Speaking of, itong mga to ay student gamers at heart and still performing also, not just here in the collegiate scene, but others are also performing in the pro scene. As we're gonna be starting here, Blade, he sees, of course, ang mga siko-sikoan nila, pero Cirque, he gets error, he knows where is, and Rage Kid mukhang he's on a speed talaga. Vipers are really particular guys in this game, pero nga lang Verns would just be denying Rage Kid from making those frags, but unfortunately tries to pop through this wall. Medyo mahirapan na si Blade ngayon as there's just some guys looking at him, but he'll be able to survive that, and he gets that, uses it to advantage, gets Kiron 3 by 3, pero nga lang low on HP na rin si Verns together with the Blade. Sumunod na nga din kagad si After Rain, and just a quick round for Tele Tigers Sol to actually seal it, making and streaming, of course, yung advantage ng Apex Tamaraws to 2 rounds.
Yeah, really good work, honestly, from Blade there. He stayed alive for what felt like forever. Still managed to get out of that corner. He didn't have tailwind, still managed to get a kill. So it just goes to show that even in a bad position, Blade can make the best of it. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to win the round because the post-plant situation from Tele Tigers just too strong. Talagang nakuha nila yung positioning. There was so much space for them on that A site. The moment that they had the A site, they just didn't let it go. Now, if we're gonna take a look at the economy here of Apex Tamaraws, medyo it's not looking very good, to say the least. They can't buy very much. They're gonna have to eco here. We're gonna go into another technical pause because, you know, it is the nature of things. Alam mo, Ray, feeling ko malapit na tayo bumalik sa LAN eh. Kasi, you know, I was reading on the vaccination rates in Metro Manila. You know, we're at like 102%, man. So I feel like we're close to the next LAN event, Ray.
You know what? I'm gonna be saying it to you guys. My parents, they already had their booster shots. So, it's really a big progress already, guys, na talagang. So, hopefully, by next year, we'll get to see each other once again.
Malay mo yung grand finals natin. Baka, baka pwede tayo na sa LAN. Or, joke lang, di pa naman siguro. Pero, I mean, probably next year we'll probably all catch up with each other in person. But yeah, it looks like we're almost in the clear. I mean, you can travel again, right?
Oo nga eh. So, you can travel again. Hopefully I'll be able to travel din talaga. I miss traveling. And at the
Okay,
same
where
time,
would you
guys,
go, Ray Ray? If you
I
should
wanna
go.
go to Boracay. I haven't been in
Okay.
Boracay. I'll be honest.
Ay naman.
Masaya dyan.
Oh, masaya naman, masaya.
Masaya.
Actually, parang walang tao eh. Tahimik. Pero teka lang, game na yata. Let's go into the game as off terrain will be spotted by that recon bite. Nice kill from Blade to start off the round. They're on an eco, so every kill they get, big deal.
Yeah, speaking of a very big deal players, Apex Towers just push right here in mid. Nothing, especially to be afraid of when you have that Blade, especially with that Jet. Really something to be scared of. Sa side ng Tiger Sol. Pero ngayon, as he maximizes the space, Rage Kid still gets him. He's just waiting for those flanks because of the information that they got. And after rain, he gets those. Taps, but unfortunately won't be able to connect. Pero in this side where Verns goes with the boost, will he be able to tackle on this one on those little angles that they have? Unfortunately, nope. Medyo mapapa-back out nga kayo ng Tiger Sol, but the fact that Apex is just using their utilities to get those upper hands against Tigers is something that Tigers need to be afraid of. They weren't able to tackle on towards that recon bolt. The location has been revealed, and lahat sila mapupunta na nga to those information that they got. And speaking of, after aim together with Verns, it's just going to be pick off by Apex. Burrito na lang ang natitira. He can just swing right through, but Rage Kid will be saying no to that. 40 is our score, and after that recon bolt na hindi na destroy, they were able to get information and Tigers still they're starting the momentum that they also have. And if Apex Tamaros, they still want to go with the buy, pero nga lang with those half armors, will it be worth it para sa kanila?
Yeah, I mean, really good round there, Tigers. Napaka-close ng game natin. I mean, it's 4-3. These two teams really going at it. Hammer and tongs, man. Error. He only has a bulldog into this round, so I'm a little bit worried here for Apex Tamaraos. It's gonna be scary kasi kung ma-reset na naman sila, it's gonna be a difficult one. Blade forced out, forces the tailwind just because of that one owl drone. So really good usage of utility here. Verns, he has been playing aggressive, so he might just get caught. He does shoot down the turret Killjoy, so that's gonna give some information that there is a player potentially pushing mid. Now the crossfire here towards B, falling back now off the rain. Can he actually get away? He does. Things should still be a little bit alright here for both sides. Nobody really giving too much, but the map control now a little bit more in favor of the Tigers. Nakuha na nila yung B long. Can they take B side? They have spread out a lot, but look here towards mid. They can catch off any rotation. So this rotation, wherever they go, is very, very vulnerable, especially with Verns watching it like a hawk. So the moment anybody crosses over to A or to B, Verns should have a line on it.
Yan talaga minsan Apex Tamaraos, they had that perfect domination already. Pero nga lang, Tigers Soul, on the other hand, they know how to also play this. And sabi nga, diba, it's a 50-50 still. And the fact that Tigers has been doing so much, they can still get this into a tie. Nilabas na lang din kagad ngayon ang Viper Spit, and Rage Kid gets the tap after rain. But Burrito makes a move on those little angles itself. And Vern still, he played it patiently. Nasabayan na nga kagad ang slow orb. A lot of advantages because the time itself, it's kicking up through sa favor ng Apex Tamaraos as they need to plant it before the time. Won't be able to. Pero nga lang, wala ng chance because nasaan bang Spike? Nasa A as they try to go with the fake, but unfortunately won't be able to be successful as Apex Tamaraos. They also know that they can just leave kagad ang A side out of their sight.
Yeah, Tigers, they try to go for the fake. They try to fake towards B. The problem with fakes like that is, especially if they commit bodies to A, yung nangyayari kasi dyan is like, you win your fight towards B, but you lose the fight towards A, and you still have like a couple of plays to deal with. They had to rotate. They took so long, they couldn't go back and collect the spike. It's a good idea, sure. Yeah, I'll give you that. It's a good idea. You won the B site, but if they actually had the spike with them towards B, they might have actually won the round. So this was an example, I think, of Tigers, I think, overthinking their attack a little too much. This is probably a strat that they have practiced, but I think if this is a strat that they're gonna keep running, they do have to, I think, polish it a little bit more, because right now, Cirque getting the opening kill onto Burrito, a little bit of a better start this time from the Tigers as the Killjoy lockdown does come in, should help them ease and take that A site without a problem.
Speaking of no problemo, Blade ngayon, he will be detained and they can just knife him out, pick him off. Pero nga lang, the fact that Teletires kanina, it was a kind of a talagang di naging successful ang kanilang fake. Pero ngayon talaga, if sama-sama lang sila, they'll just stick right true to their usual strategies. They can still get this. And speaking of, he will be taking that frag against Blade. 3 left na lang. They can go for a reso. He gets for a reso. Still a big chance of Apex to get this right through because he gets a kill na naman. And meron pa siyang wall to just burst right through. And speaking of, meron pa naman kagad ang lineup ngayon si Lychee just to be able to save the day. And he will be able to take on, of course, yung nagde-defuse. Pero after this, after rain once again, he will be holding, of course, with that half. Pero mukhang imposible na nga sa kay Burrito to get this right through. Oh no, he still gets it. Pero nga lang, may enough time ba siya to actually defuse it? Oh, wala na nga kagad. The clutch still is on to the side of a Tele-Tigers. And humahabol pa rin sila Ilu, making this into a 5-4.
And it should be a 5-5 after this because I mean if you look at the buy, Apex Tamaraos struggling. Ang daming nagamit na utility ng Apex Tamaraos doon. Not only did they commit the res, they committed all of their weapons, you know, everything. They lost quite a lot on that. And I think it came down like way too close. Tele-Tigers really showing us that their attacking side is something to be afraid of. You know, getting so many good reads on the defense, and this is one thing I noticed, the weakness of Apex Tamaraos really towards that A side. Kasi sa lahat ng rounds na panalo na ng Tele-Tigers, most of them have been towards that A. And I think they have to do a little bit of a better job reinforcing it, whether it's rotating the sentinel there, maybe playing a little bit more aggressive. I really think that the key to success here for the defensive side of Apex Tamaraos, they gotta go and change it up and maybe find a different way to hold on to that A side because they're losing all the duels, including this one, and this should be a clean eco round here for Apex Tamaraos. There's only one person left standing. I don't think there's gonna be too much in it. Yeah, absolutely not. That's the end of the story for that one. Kiron easily getting the kill, and it's gonna be again a flawless round here for Tele-Tigers. So again, really napakalakas ng attacking side ng Tele-Tigers, and Apex Tamaraos, they're faltering on that A side defense.
Kanina lang medyo nag-struggle sila. Just a little bit of the adjustments, especially sa side ng Tele-Tigers. But at least right now, they'll be able to spice it up and make it into clean a tie. And speaking of, because of the defense, that's what you've mentioned na yung Apex ngayon ay talagang fall down sila sa kanilang defense. Magpapa-time out talaga sila just to make sure that they'll be able to last long, at least get that 2-round advantage on the first half. But speaking of, while we're having that timeout, don't forget guys na yung mga scholarships, hindi lang scholarship para sa Akad Arena, kundi meron din tayo scholarship sa mga nag-a-axi dyan. So make sure guys to check out on the website itself ng Akad Arena at malay nyo kayo ang next na magiging good day isko para ngayon sa inyo. And at the same time guys, if you love memes, gameplay, and other student live videos, check out Akad Arena on TikTok. Follow at Akad Arena. And if you are part of our first 1K followers, you'll get the chance to win some of our weekly giveaways. Just post or tweet with the hashtag #AATikTok giveaway to make your entry count. Guys, sa mga interested, sumali talaga na giveaways because Akad Arena has a lot of it para sa inyong mga students. So hopefully guys, sasali kayo sa ating giveaway. 5-all is the key. And kitang-kita nyo na guys, first half pa lang, the differences, wala talaga masyado because all of them, they know side by side kung paano ba maglaro ang style ng bawat isa. But as sa Cirque right now, he will be aggressive. Denied na naman siya ngayon ng isang miyerba ng Apex Tamaraos. But Rage Kid, he is really prepared for those flanks. But unfortunately, predicted na din siya ngayon ng Apex Tamaraos. And looks like after the timeout, it's really working as Apex Tamaraos were able to discuss how they can get Tele-Tigers Soul. And speaking of, we only have Kiron together with Lychee as the spike right now is onto the side of Apex Tamaraos. Babantayan na lang nila nito and walang choice ngayon si Kiron kundi i-risk na lang nila kagad. But Lychee, he still gets 2. But unfortunately, may isa pang naghihintay sa kanila and that's going to be, of course, the duelists of Apex Tamaraos. And leading na naman ang Apex by 1.
Yeah, sure. But again, it's a good defense. I'm not convinced of the A side defense. The only defensive sides that Apex Tamaraos have won on that A side is when they have the Viper Spit. Like they have not won a defense on the A side. I think aside from was it the pistol, but they haven't won an A side defense na hindi ginagamit ang split to A. So I think this time when it comes back to the buy round, it's got to be a little bit more of how will they, boost their chances of winning on that A side, because now they're just leaving their Reyna there. Sure, the Sova's there for a little bit of support, but they're so vulnerable. The retakes haven't been that great as well. Fortunately, they're winning the opening duel. Vern's getting the opening pick onto Rage Kid. Allow them a little bit of leeway here. Great aggression. Once more, Blade showing up. They want to get that 7-5 and should be another round here for Apex Tamaraus. It is going to be a 3v5 here. There still is the lockdown from Killjoy, but in this current moment in time, I'm really favoring the side of Apex Tamaraus that take this. Burrito goes down as well. That should be the rest of the round here. 2v4, I highly doubt this. Error even gets caught out with his bow out. There's nothing you can do about that. Still, there's a chance in a dream. They've turned this around. Okay, a couple of kills, 3v3.
We also have that lockdown just to delay so much time sa side ng Apex Tamaraus, and talagang mapupush out sila ngayon sa mismong side. First, he tries to poop through, of course, sa kanyang mga shots, but won't be able to connect those because Teletires can just wait for them on those post plants. And kita mo naman the lineup that they have. And Cirque also with the top operator just waiting for them to pop right through. Pero nga lang, wala siyang babawasan. As let's see how coordinated Apex Tamaraus is. It's just going to be one left. That's going to be Mon. But he tries to get this, but the defuse once again. Apex Tamaraus was able to save the day just because of Vern's getting that. And finally, that's what I'm talking about. After some seriousness sa kanilang timeout, they know that they need this to make a lead into 7-5. And that was a beautiful round ulit sa mga Ninja Defuse, sa mga hold lang nila against the Spike. Yan talagang meron ng Apex Tamaraus against Teletigers. Could have been a 6-all just because of those post plans na meron Teletigers. But seems like it won't be able to do that. But this is very crucial. If Teletigers wins the pistol round, then most likely 7-all na naman ang mangyayari. But Apex Tamaraus, if they can get this, yung momentum talaga mag-shift kung nasaan sila.
Oh yeah, I mean, the pistol round is going to be the great equalizer here. If we see that 7-7, it should be again a very close game. But what we just saw earlier on is a pretty decent hold from Teletigers. But straight A execution. I just want to see Teletigers. Can they hold on? We saw really good defense earlier on from Apex Tamaraus. Can Teletigers do exactly the same?
Teletigers, will they get this? Alam naman natin talaga kapag may hirap ang sitwasyon, Teletigers, they know how to make some good comebacks. And speaking of Cirque, they know how to do that. Dalawa na lang kagad ang deny, and Cirque, just because of moving right through, protecting those angles, we only have one that's going to be Error, at lahat nakatingin na sa kanya. And Teletigers wins the pistol round. Sobrang bilis lang talaga. And they can just force out of what they have, make this into 7-all. And kita mo naman, diba, every time that Apex Tamaraus can come up with something, Teletigers will just be surprising them. And nakita natin to sa UAC mismo, na kapag it's Teletigers and Apex, we're talking about Apex Tamaraus, you all know that they're really on par with each other. Every time that this is happening, sobrang nagiging, nagkakaiba sa mga clutch plays, sa mga individuals that they have, those post plans and those retakes, lang talagang very minimal na lang yung mga differences nila, but they still have the same style almost. But here it is, Rage Kid. We've seen him really performing well on the first half, but right now, just same on those Vipers that we're seeing, just gonna be holding on towards those angles, that after rain, he tries to lurk right through here in the mid, pero nga lang, Teletigers will just be holding their playthroughs with the advantage that they have. And speaking right through Rage Kids, una na makipikon, makakita na nga niya kagad sa Error, and he will just be denying those plans as Mon on the other side of the map gets after Rain. Tatlo na lang kagad ang natitira sa side of Apex Tamaraus, just holding on towards their sheriffs, but they're just gonna be denied one by Teletigers Sol dahil nga those defaults and how they play it passively. Teletigers knows their upper hand. Seems like they're just denied on those utilities thrown by them. And speaking of Mon, gets some friends. Spike, they could have planted it. There, the fact that there's just Burrito going up against 3 and watching over them. He still gets those taps. Possible win pa rin kay Burrito. Sheriff talaga, alam naman natin na yan ang mga game changer. Pero the fact that we still have 33 seconds and the Spike,
30 seconds left.
he needs to plant it. He has a lot of space. He can get those guns, but everyone is just watching him. And the Marshall shifts right through. Burrito denied. And 7-all na nga is the scoreline against these two teams.
Yeah, but Apex Tamaras, they make that so expensive. How many players did the Tele Tigers lose on that? They just lost 3 players, and that's going to force a lot of rebuys. The economy of Tele Tigers is a little bit in ruins right now, as you can see. Fortunately, do have a little bit of wiggle room right here. I do imagine that they can actually make a drop or two, even if it's just for this bonus round, just to give them a little bit more chance to do more economic damage. But if this round is any indicator, I mean, the previous rounds were any indicator of how the anti-ecos would go, then, could be up for a surprise here. Working their way towards A again. The last time that we were at A, it's actually Tele Tigers who held it defiantly. Can they recreate that success one more time? Blade missing the timing, little bit unfortunate there, but push comes to shove, they actually do get a 1-for-1 exchange.
I love the exchanges, but unfortunately, the Tigers in this full buy, they can get this just because of Lychee getting 2 heads. And we only have what? Si Verns na lang talaga together, of course, ang isa na lang kakampi. Pero nga lang, how will he be able to dictate this right through? Because Lychee will just be seeing them. And after Rain, he sees one, he can still win this, but unfortunately, nope, as Mon gets a tap. And finally, Tele Tigers, after those seriousness, talagang banters when it comes to the scorelines, rallies, everything, they're able to lead by 1, and they can just capitalize on this one. Why? Because kita mo naman, that was a full buy coming from Apex Tamaras, and if they lose it, really, alam naman natin that it will be a bigger change sa kanila. And speaking of, because of that, they would just be going with the timeout and maybe just have a refresher start on how they'll be able to get this. Dahil nga the Tigers, they know where they will be capitalizing on towards that, pero tingnan natin baka magiging change pa to sa Apex Tamaras.
Oh yeah, just really, really well done there. The Tigers, man, they had basically a weaker buy, and by weaker buy, I mean they had virtually nothing. A couple of upgraded pistols. They had the Marshall that was left over from the previous round, but it wasn't exactly an ideal buy. They still came out of in top. This is really going to show that just the way the Tele Tigers are handling that A site defense is just amazing. They don't have any cracks in that A side defense, and they've shown that the way they handle the defense on the A is a completely different league from the way that Apex Tamaras hold their A. Kasi kanina nakita natin, Apex Tamaras, sure, they were able to hold decently a couple of times on A, but mostly it was because may Viper spit, for Apex Tamaras. But Tele Tigers, man, they can hold A site, whatever guns that you throw their way regardless. So now let's go on and move to the next round. 7-8. Cirque looking to be first contact here, as he does have the tailwind if things get a little bit hairy. Heals the owl drone, forces him back a little bit, trying to change the angle. Does get around the owl drone, so this actually might be a good position for him. They might not expect that somebody re-aggressed around this corner, but it's a nice shot right there from Lychee to start the round off. 4v5, quick trade onto Cirque right now as he finds error. Now already brought to a 4v4.
Oh, still Apex Tamaras, every time they know how to make, of course, those refresh, talagang alam nila na they can still get this. But the fact that it's still a 4v4, we also have that ultimate coming sa Apex Tamaras, maybe they can still get this. But as a Cirque, as TGR, will they get enough information as to where they are? Because Cirque, he tries to, of course, get a dink. But unfortunately, si Verns pa nga magkaka-advantage against him. Pero ito na nga, Empress has been pop up already. Pero nga lang, just because of them not expecting us to where after rain is, they want to confirm this round just by pulling off that Viper spit. And speaking of after rain, will he be able to get this versus 2 members of the Tiger Soul, as they don't have much of a choice but to really get this. Pero si Rage Kid, he gets already isa burrito, pero he still gets 2. It's a miracle play coming from him, and still after the 2v3 situation, Tele Tigers still will be able to win this round. And speaking of, we've seen them getting this Rage Kid earlier with the clutch that he had, so he knows how to be able to, of course, manipulate also ang mga Viper spit ng kanilang kalaban, making this into a 7-9. And finally, after those ties talaga, leading na ang Tele Tigers Soul by 2 against Apex Tamaras.
Yeah, Apex Samurais, what a play. I mean, I like the idea. I like the idea to go for the Viper Spit, lalo na, they were at a lesser buy. It just gives them a little bit more leeway to get closer. They don't have to take such long angles, but they were snuffed out inside of it. The fact that they were both holding inside eventually means that they were found out. So, and the angles just didn't go their way. The fights didn't go their way. Really good stuff from Apex Samurais to even get that round close to being winnable. But at the very end of it, Tigers, they show why they were the better team in that round, and they're looking to do the same right now. But the buy round comes in, and Rage Kid does start it off strongly. Again, the defense here from Tigers has just been that much cleaner. Sobrang mas gusto ko yung defense ng Tigers because not only are they more, I'd say, consistent, but they're also able to do things that Apex Samurais weren't able to do. The way that they take map control, the way that they hold onto that A site, the way that even the retakes on Tigers just looking this much better than Apex Samurais right now.
Doesn't so much the improvement talaga that the Tigers had after UAC, really. But on the other side of Apex Samurais, they're just going one by one, being picked off here in mid. And seems like the Tigers, they already know how they'll be able to dictate it. Pero the fact that just only two will Error finally get some good clutches maybe. Pero nga lang, timing hits off. He wants to change, but unfortunately, Mon gets them, the last two guys up ahead. 7-10, leading by 3. Will this be the time where Tigers will just be consecutively winning this round just because of their, of course, momentum? Let's see if that's gonna be working, because Apex Samurais, they just want to force out of this round. There's nothing much, of course, to risk. Pero nga lang, you just don't want the Tigers confirming rounds one by one and making this into just 2 rounds left before they can finally seal the very first map against Apex Samurais.
Yeah, and that was a buy round that, they should have actually won, but I do have to give massive props. Mon with the hold towards mid, advanced angle, off angle, just aggressively taking down 3 kills, cutting off rotations, and what a ripper of a shot. They will be rezzing him, sure, but that's already a big investment on this round by Apex Samurais. They get it to a 5v5. They try to rush towards A, try to see if they have any more luck here, but quick dash in. Blade actually clips the side of 410. And Chiron does get the angle onto one, traded out immediately, tries to dismiss out, flashes through, cannot get any more kills, and it's going to be a great execute by the Apex Samurais, who clean house this round and are able to take a site. Just the change of pace here by the Apex Samurais. They've been playing slow all game long, but now they turn up the heat. They go dial it to 11 and take over that A site and actually secure themselves a point here, bringing us to a 2-round deficit, 8-10.
Oh, really? Seems like Apex Samurais, they're upping it. And sabi ko nga, diba, that is just a really high buy sa kanila. And if they were able to get that, and alam naman natin that they can still get that, 8-10 na nga ang score. And it's not impossible for them to take this against the Tigers Soul, knowing that every round is just going to be a mind game streak. And the Tigers Soul, kailangan hindi sila ma-deny, but looks like Cirque, he wants to deny one, and that's going to be Blood going down. Sumunod na nga kagad si Friends. And after that flawless execution from Apex Samurais, just because of their change style, Tigers was able to adjust into it. And speaking of Burrito, he tries to steal one frag, but let's see if he'll be able to get more, because apat pa ang natitira sa Tigers Soul. They can just rotate right through since the B is very open, but it's really hard because Tigers Soul, they can just wait for them, and we have one waiting for them. That's going to be Rage Kid playing and manipulating everything that he has, and he knows that they will just be bursting through B side. He'll just wait for them to come and call his teammates, go with the defenses that they have. Burrito, he tries to sneak right through here in mid. Unfortunately, hiwalay lang Tigers. They will just be playing this passively because they know their advantages and they have nothing to be afraid of, knowing that they all have those utilities also that they can use. But here it is. Burrito still makes a move. Dalawa pa sila. Pero nga lang denied na si Aaron. Nagpakita siya sa may yellow. And Burrito has the spike. Waiting na lang kagad lahat ng miyembro ng Tigers as to where he is. Mon may be getting even to a backstab against him. And Burrito, timing is so perfect. Pero nga lang, kita na siya kagad with all those setups, and Rage Kid finally gets him. And 2 rounds left before Tigers Soul gets this.
Oh, Tigers Soul just absolutely clean on that defense. Now they can even afford that operator. So I imagine this is gonna be tough here, especially after that economic reset. Tignan mo naman ang pera ng Apex Tamaraws. They can't afford anything. They've got a Guardian. But they don't want to relinquish map point. Ayaw nilang ibigay yung map point dito. So they're gonna try to buy at least a little bit. Vern's gonna be buying on that. I think he might go for a buy here because he can't afford a Vandal. What's gonna be the decision here? He drops a Vandal to Burrito. He's gonna use the Guardian for himself here. But the quick hit might just come in. A rush worked for them last time. Will it work again?
Let's see if it's just going to be some workable and finally solutions of these teams that we have. Pero nga lang, knowing that Apex Tamers, it's now or never. Cirque is just gonna be denying Blade once again with that operator. And the fact, Apex Tamers, they have nothing to be really, it's now or never sa kanila. Error tries to win this still. Pero nga lang, pagdating sa mga guns, we all know the advantages that these guys have when it comes to Teletigers. They can get this. But the fact that the spike has been planted and Apex Tamers can just play this against Teletigers. Soul looks like they're doing it. The Verns gets a tap against Kiron. Naghahabol na ngayon si Cirque, but he's just getting those taps. So one by one, nag-goldie siya ng Teletigers and Verito gets rage get together with Cirque. And even if Cirque was able to deny one that's going to be Blade, Apex Tamers, they just risk it everything and error really with that Sheriff tap. He was able to get those kills, tas nakakuha pa ng barilang Apex Tamers. And finally, hindi pa talaga sila ngayon nagpapatinag. 9-11 and ayaw nilang makakuha na talaga ng match point ng Teletigers Sol.
Honestly, Vern's, I think that was all Vern's on that one, on that round. Getting a couple of those kills. And what I love, kung pansinin nyo kung anong ginawa ni Vern's doon, he puts up the late wall after the plant. So what that means is that the wall doesn't burn immediately. It doesn't go down so quickly. And it bought them so much time to reposition. The moment that you saw Vern's actually put up that, the wall, they were able to reposition so quickly. They were able to get back towards 410, set up a crossfire, and after Rain was able to get a couple of picks here. Vern's using the backup to support Blade as Blade was falling back, and I think it was Blade who was being pressured. It's just really good communication from the side of Apex Tamros on them. It's a great play. I think one of the best plays I've seen from them, and I hope that they can recreate it. Now, we'll be going to another A site take. It's looking like it's going to be not the case, as no picks coming out just yet. Looking to swing wide. Great pick off, tailwind out.
It's like Cirque right now, kahit isa ka agad, nakakadalawa na nga siya na kills ngayon. That's pretty important. Pero nga lang, Verz on the other side, we need to take care of that Guardian. He was able to determine the pacing right now. Pero nga lang, the fact that it's just all alone, going up against 4, he's just going to be watched by Teletigers and just pushed right through as to where he is. Pero nga lang, mukhang aware ang Teletigers. It's Verns we're talking about, and he can just clutch it all out because of the determination that he has. Pero speaking of, he gets one, but unfortunately with that Vandal, Mon will be finishing him out, and just one left. Teletigers will be able to get into this map, which is going to be Icebox. That's 4 out of 5 agents are ready with their ultimates.
Well, honestly, this is a very, very good prospect for Teletigers. They're looking at a great spot. They got 4 players alive. They've got, 4 players with ultis, excuse me. They kept a lot of people alive on that last one, keeping their economy healthy. Sure, they lost a couple, but they'll be happy to rebuy. Cirque with the op shots, amazing. Was able to get 2 before they even knew what hit them. And now they're going to be going in with a massive advantage here. They try to tailwind towards the top there, up on top of pipes. Be getting a lot of information with that recon spots too, but getting more than this. Nice tag. Actually lightly finds information that there is someone very, very close by, so this mid aggression is all but known. Now to the other side, and just look at that. Just Apex Tamaraus doing so much work, getting the aggressive picks, sniffing out completely what Teletigers do. It doesn't matter. Trades come in about, and I think this is the victory point. Error 1v4.
And looks like Teletigers Soul will be confirming his very first map in Icebox against Apex Tamaraus. And once again, Teletigers, it was a really good performance coming from them. May nagkaroon na nga ng advantage ang Apex Tamaraus sa first half. But as what you've said, Ilu, when it comes to defending talaga, Teletigers, they have the upper hands. They know how they'll be able to manipulate it. And the fact that Cirque is just denying those possibilities of the aggressiveness ng Apex Apex Tamaraos, that is how they were able to get that. And it's really beautiful to see Tiger's Soul on the very first map to start this one out against Apex Tamaraos, because these were the maps that usually Tiger's Soul needs to improve on, and they were able to work it out. Well, Apex Tamaraos on the other side, let's see if how they'll be able to check it on the next map, which is going to be in Ascent.
Yeah, honestly, they started off really strong there. Apex Tamaraos, but hindi nila na whole new momentum na nakuha nila at the very start of the game. And honestly, it was just fantastically played by Teletargets. I think they just looked like the better team overall. They had a better defense. I think their offense was actually pretty strong as well. Overall, Teletargets showing us that they are a considerable force to be reckoned with. And I think through this tournament, proving why that they deserve to be here. I'm expecting so much more from them because I saw a lot of great plays, a lot of great reads. And I think that they can go really very much far in this tournament. One of the contenders to be potentially one of the favorites here. But game 2 is going to be, I think, the story one. Is going to tell us more of the story when we get into that one.
Really, let's see if it's going to be Apex Tamaraos just having that reset and getting into Ascent, or Tigers just the same as Viridis Arcus will be able to get this into a clean streak, as we're gonna be heading on a short break here in MGA. Once again, we are your shoutcasters, Ray and Illustrado, guys, and you're gonna be seeing Illustrado together with Dax after this short break.
And we are back, guys. Final quarterfinals, game number 2, and it's UST up by 1. My name is Dax here. I'm here with Illustrado. Teletiger Soldo up against Apex Tamros. And Ilu, come on, just bring me up to speed real quick. How the hell did Teletiger Soul whip that one out? Because it really felt like a bit disjointed at the start, pero bigla na lang Teletigers just getting that last run to get that victory.
Honestly, for me, it was a lot about just Teletigers being the better team overall. Their defense was strong. Their defense was much cleaner than Apex Tamaraos. The way that they held A site, so many times Teletigers would come out on top. And even when it came to their offense, they won a lot of their aim duels and just proved that they had better coordination overall. Not really surprised by what I'm seeing here in Teletigers, showing that they are such a team to be reckoned with. Coming into game number 2, I expect more of the same, honestly, Dax. Kasi para sa akin, I think it's gonna be the same stuff because, you know, just overall as a team, I feel like they're more put together. I feel like they're more coordinated. I feel like they have the better strats. Apex Tamara, a lot of great plays, a lot of good inspiration, and a lot of good plays for them, but it's just not enough to eke out a win up against the Tigers.
And Teletigers, they have that experience so much in the collegiate circuit, winning against a few international teams here and there as well. And that's the thing about the Teletigers. They were also one of the first seeds to come on in. The qualifier number 1, they were just second place to the LG Terra squad of Ateneo right there. And Apex Tamros in the meantime coming in from qualifier number 4. But I gotta give props to who we just got into the roster there for the side of Teletigers. We saw Rage Kid there perform exceptionally well on the Viper. And interesting enough, I've seen this guy play before in the pro scene, subbing for teams like Fractals and all the like. So dito talaga natin, he has that experience and it's really helping out Teletigers. In the meantime, Apex Tamaraos, background for them, I've really noticed they're also on the uprise, same way as we saw on the Mindanao State team that we had a while ago, the Excalibur Squadron. And for those kind of teams, they've made it to the top 8. That's already well and good that they're making a splash here in MGA in the playoffs. But against, I gotta say, the more established teams, no, Ilu, that, you know, the likes of the Teletigers, the likes of Virtus Arcus a while ago. It's such a tough task, and it's really a bit of an underdog performance looking to make it to the semifinals here for the likes of Apex Tamaraos right now.
I just want to hit you with a little bit of a daydream I have, man. First of all, you're absolutely right. But second of all, imagine if we had this when we were in college. Like, how cool would that be? Like, you know, like one of us, I don't know, maybe we'd be playing on our school teams or something, and then we'd just be like subs or maybe a player, who knows. But we'd be like going to other schools to compete, and we like that would be pretty sick, you know.
Ilu, come on. If this was here and Valorant came out earlier, back in our time we were in college, the Rockwell Jet would be the Pinoy Jet by this point. Come on, man. It would not be like Dubstep versus G Insanity. It would be Dubstep versus G Insanity versus Illustrado. Well, I love your background, by the way. You changed the chickens to some seashells? Nice place you got there. Nice place.
Oh, I'm the Boracay Jet now. I just wanted to know. I'm taking that throne from Georgie. But you know what? We would have been on totally different schools, obviously, because you come from Ateneo. I come from like a LaSalle school, so you know, we would have been rivals. We would have been on like the, you know, cheering on the other sides of the stands. That would have been dope.
It would be cool. It's like, I mean, it happens, right? It's one of the biggest rivalries, and there is a chance both LG Terra and Virtus Arcus are already in the semifinals, and if they do,
it's crazy. It's crazy that we still see it in Valorant. That rivalry.
I know, right? And that's the thing. We not only get those kind of rivalries that we know about in terms of like the UAP and NCAAs and all the like, but we're getting some of these teams here to really impress, to really show off their schools. And in all honesty, many of the schools that we've seen in the collegiate circuit here in MGA as well, I was like, uy, may ganun pala sila. Oh, they have an esports team. Oh, they actually want to push this forward. And it's just impressive no matter what, or no matter where they are, rather, here in the Philippines. Last time nga, diba? Last quarterfinal, that was a team from Mindanao. Here again, FEU represent you. FEU talaga. How many schools? I mean, how many teams do they have per school? They're just so willing to really push it. And Apex Tamaraos, this is a squad nga that they've been pushing themselves to the limit. I remember back in UAC, the promotionals, these guys like Verns, like Burrito, like Blade, they really were instrumental to put themselves up to this caliber of play. And they're gonna be meeting the likes of Teletigers in the near future. They're meeting them right now. At ito talaga yun, parang yun yung next wave, diba? In the collegiate circuit, it's people coming up, but then there are even more people just chasing after the top teams we have.
You know, Dax, this is making me start to think, like, how far are we away? And I don't think we're that far personally. How far are we away from, like, having, you know, our varsity teams competing cross country, you know, our varsity teams in, you know, the university going international, you know, fighting up against other SEA? Because, you know, our university scene, it's damn good. I bet we could compete, like, across Southeast Asia, across the world, you know, in that collegiate level. But, like, I'm thinking, how close are we to having what we have? Like, let's say the version of UAAP now, like, I think we're getting there. I think we're getting pretty close to being able to say that, yeah, maybe we'll have courtside reporters soon, you know, maybe we'll have all this crazy stuff, maybe we'll have stadiums filled with people, you know, hyping up and cheering for their esports team. Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe. Let's fix COVID first. But I know there's already a precedent, and I wouldn't be surprised. So, you know, MGA, maybe MGA International in the near future. 2022. We're giving you guys the ideas, $1 million ideas, but we're gonna be getting the money match here. It's Apex Samurais on the defensive side, Teletiger Soul on the attack, and we are gonna be seeing that Teletigers still have Rage Kit on the roster, and immediately we're gonna get that Reina picked on up. But on Ascent, come on, it's the usual stuff here, Ilu. Everyone plays Ascent in the PH scene, and even more so in the collegiate side. Did you know for like pretty much a year, no, more like almost a full year, Ascent was just the go-to map. Everyone would always pick Ascent and just disregard everything else.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, it's like the great equalizer here, and I think it's home court territory for like everybody, you know. It's really just gonna be about who's more comfortable, and I think why the reason is because Ascent is the kind of map that really is an expository kind of map that just reveals all the weaknesses and, you know, shows all the strengths of a team. From what I saw in Icebox, Teletigers, very strong, fundamentally sound team. Whereas Apex Tamaraos, a lot of great high peaks, high energy moments where they, you know, absolutely pop off. But at the same time, I think when you talk about Ascent, it's more about, you know, the slow burn, the steady attack, the steady defense, who's more fundamentally strong. I think Teletigers have a big advantage here. I think they're going to come out of this in the victory.
I mean, they are up by 1 right now, and history shows that Teletigers, honestly, the squad, they really take their collegiate team in a very professional manner. Not only do they play in the collegiate circuit as the Teletigers, but they do so as well in the pro scene. So it really goes to show that these guys are going above and beyond. On the flip side, though, Apex Samurais, they're still trying to hit their peaks, and you mentioned it, the roller coaster ride that can be the performance. Sometimes it can just pop off like crazy. There is a lot of potential right now for a squad like this, but as we get into the game, look at the compositions right now. It does feel like it's a very standardized affair for both. Just a single Sentinel being the difference. You got the Cypher on one side, you got the Killjoy on the other. But from what I've seen from the Teletigers, when they whip out that Killjoy on Ascent, it's just gonna be a lineup fiesta with those nano swarms. The wine side, the A side, that's gonna get blown on up. B main as well. Those are gonna be some angles that Apex Samurais will look to avoid.
I mean, one of the things that I like in a team like Teletigers is they know how to use their defensive teams, defensive tools so well. They know how to structure a defense around that utility, and this is something that, you know, Teletigers are actually very capable of. So, like you mentioned, that Killjoy, a lot is going to rely on where they place that utility, how they're going to structure their defense around that Killjoy, how they're going to work around it when push comes to shove, when they lose a player or two, how they can be flexible. And from what we've seen in previous games, Teletigers, they can do things on the fly that a lot of teams are not capable of doing. One of the best teams around that can make up strategies like just when they need to, that can adapt to difficult situations. One of the most tenacious teams out there. I'm looking forward to seeing what Teletigers can do.
Yeah, but on the flip side, you know, Air BNB wait to happen. Air Blade and Burrito ready to pounce, ready to go for the takedowns. And Burrito, he's such a flexible player. He can play a Sentinel, he can play a main Reina as well, and Blade in the meantime. That main duelist on that jet, looking to just hold things off. But the most interesting part right now, I have to watch out for this game, is how Apex Samurais is gonna use that Cypher intel as much as possible, because they do have that Sova, they have that Cypher. It's your old school double intel, one for the defense, one for more the initiation role. But in this instance, these trip bars are gonna be instrumental for stopping the Teletigers push. And notably, Teletigers, they are a very tactical team. They're not the most explosive per se compared to everyone else. They look for the tactics and they look for the shots, but Burrito is the one with the takedown takedown, and Chiron gonna be able to make it 4v4 through the cyber cage they go. But after raid right now, it's just gonna be keeping up the lead. We got Extra though finding one back, 3v3 right now, but the pinch is coming here from Apex Tamaros, and as you mentioned, the flag is real, and Blade will cut through to get to 1v2 right now, and it's all up to Rage Kid.
Really great flank from Blade, and that should be the final blow. Well played. Again, the flank just coming in. The moment that there was a lot of pressure onto that B site, there was no hesitation from Teletigers to send a flank coming in through, sorry, from Tamaros to send a flank coming in through towards that A site and then all the way around that spawn. So a little bit of, I'd say, a gap in the offense of Teletigers. I think the moment that they got that first pick off there, the moment that they got that trade kill onto that Reyna, they should have funneled their way into the A site. But instead, they hesitated. They made that rotation all the way back, which is a fair thing to do, sure, but not when you don't have any map control. Anyway, great read in the end, but still, it's led us to the first pistol going to the side of Apex Tamaros.
And Apex Tamaros getting value out of that side for the cyber cage is getting in the way, but now Blade, he wants to go for the peek, and there you go, the Cypher, we were talking about him, he gets two so far, Blade gonna get on the board as well, and Apex Tamaros willing to go for the push and willing to go for the peek on potential pinch now coming on through top mid might be the point where Apex Tamaros can get even more control, but for the time being, the Teletigers still gonna have two, looking at the very least to check out how this A site is gonna go, but the Tamaros, they're just grazing the grass right now, waiting for someone to come, and really, this is such a big advantage for them. The shot that does complete right now with that takedown, an easy mode out onto Mon, onto the corner we go with the final member of the Teletigers, and unfortunately for the Tigers, they're gonna be meowing rather than growling as it's a 2-0 right now for Apex Tamaros.
I think, you know, Teletigers, they're attacking these first two rounds not very convincing. They have been looking very one-dimensional, and I don't know if it's because they're not comfortable in Ascent, which is like an impossibility for me, because come on, everybody's comfortable on Ascent. I don't know, it's just, I feel like they need to do more. Maybe now that we're on a gun round, we'll start to see a little bit more inspired attack.
I mean, come on, Ascent is the map you scrim, guys, all the time. Everyone and anyone, your mom knows how to play Ascent by this point, and it just feels like it's such a standard here. But you make a good point, because for Teletigers, not only is it one-dimensional, but it's also one-directional. How many times have we seen them really have no escape route out? They were just getting pinched here by Apex Tamaros. They don't really have a sort of plan B right now, and they were just waiting to die to the hand of FEU. But here we go right now. This is going to be the Teletigers at least playing a bit of the defaults instead. They do want to use that gun advantage for the time being. Some stacking onto B main, but as of yet, the Tamaros, again, so patient right now and not too eager here, Ilu, to peek on out.
Absolutely. They just want to burn down that clock. They just want to whittle down the time. They brought out the aggression earlier on. Now they're changing things up on the side of Apex Tamaros. They won the first two by playing a little bit more aggressive. Now they want to force them to second-guess themselves on the Teletiger side. So with that, a little bit of indecision, maybe they can start to capitalize on the time. And it's looking like it's working, because they've burned down a lot of time, down to 45 seconds, and a decision has yet to be made. They're still working their way towards mid. So they have lost a lot of time here on the Teletiger side. Now Apex Tamaros, they're looking to hold this strongly, and they've got a lot of bodies here towards A.
Yeah, it's only 3 stack here pushing from the Teletigers. We do have the Astra here staying on the right-hand side, and that's already going to be 2 here for the side of Apex Tamaros. Mon, in the meantime, has to back on away, and this is the problem. They wasted so much time. Rage Kid, though, just raging against the machine and looking to fight here in the middle, but there's just no way for them to get on site. They have to really fight for their lives. Mon, in the meantime, trying to peek on out, but still, it's that Astra on the right-hand side, finally going to get taken on down. 6 seconds left. You have to go for that spike plant, but it's going to be error, making sure the 404 is there. Rage Kid, in the meantime, gonna try to go for the refrag, but no, the time is not going to be on their side.
Oh, no!
And the disrespect from Error! It's a blue screen of death from Nova, and the Apex Tamaros get the bonus and get the one-upmanship. Oh my.
What on earth? The disrespect, running away with a Spectre and then just going off. Going for the hide play behind the wall and then coming out swinging with the knife. My God, Apex Tamaros, they're looking to make a statement with that play for sure. Because I'm going to go back to that point that I made earlier, man. The way that you play that defense, they played it so cleverly. Aggressive at first, and then you play it passively, which really forces them to second guess themselves and takes so much time taking that map control, looking for anybody who played aggressive. So, you know, Apex Tamaros in that mental game, absolutely winning out.
And And you know, Meitsu saying, you know, 1v3 is so doable there. He was able to stay on the right-hand side how many times. And for Teletigers, it does feel like they do want to get their full force if they're gonna try and rush down onto a site. But now, they don't really have the guns. The Tamaraos, in the meantime, still prepared. They're taking a few aggressive angles for the options, but it's still not the overcommit. They're really grazing their head right now, keeping an eye out. And for Burrito, he's wrapping around onto the market. There we go, this tripwire though. And already won. But, oh, Chiron, that's a beautiful shot. Tap at least, and it's an opening here for the side of the Teletigers. The camera getting in the way though. After Rain right now, played the into well, but it's gonna be another trade on back, so at least the Teletigers getting some potency on, but it's up to Blade right now to cut against the rest. Can Error right now find the tilt against Exia? Yes, he does. It's now gonna be 3v2, low HP on the Jet. We do get the dart into play, and here comes Blade one more time. It's just a knife cutting through the air. The Blades are gonna be out, but Rage Kid again, channeling his energy, channeling his emotions, but with only 5 HP, it's gonna be checkmate here from Meitsu, and it's 4-0. The Tamaraos still hold on, but a good eco round, I have to say, for Teletigers.
Absolutely. Great eco round. Just, taking so many kills from them. The Sheriffs doing work. I do have to point out, though, Apex Tamaraos, they did get given a couple of those kills there. Because Teletigers, man, like, there were a couple of holds from the Apex Tamaraos side that should have went with double kills. Like the hold towards Market, and towards Stairs, and then one more hold towards, I think, Mid, where the trades came in really quick from the Sheriffs. I think those should have been double kills, but I don't know if it was the nerve or whether they were just uncertain about it. They just didn't get the kills that they needed. Blade, though, playing aggressive with the Operator. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. Pushes the envelope quite a lot, and this gives them a lot of space to work with, and it allows them to cheat on over a player towards the other side, and that's the aggressive push, and everybody's just going down along with it. And already 2 players have been found by the side of the Apex Tamaraos.
Yeah, and Teletigers, they committed with that Hunter's Fury, but they got nothing out of it. Instead, they lost to Blade in the meantime, still sticking on around by B main, and it's just gonna be him waiting for Rage Kid to peek, but he doesn't actually get the shot right. So Mon right now, all the way here, Rage Kid in the meantime says, oh, phew, I'm still alive, I'm still good on the HP. But for Teletigers, again, it's that slower play. Will it work out this time? But it does feel like Apex Tamaraos, they're so prepared here on the A side, where UST is heading towards to.
Well, they've got definitely a chance in it because it's still a 3v4, but HP this low? I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. It has to be a clean entry towards that A site. They have to get it absolutely perfectly, and even then it's difficult because the retake potential here for Apex Tamaraos is so strong, so they're going to try for it. Nice usage of Recon, and that's going to be the clean take that we were talking about. They should be able to get the spike down.
Yeah, Rage Kid able to get that takedown, and here we have it. Error in the meantime stands 2 contests over and out by the top side, but we have it. Jet right now gonna go for the dash on the way, and Rage Kid will find Error instead, and it's now gonna be 3v2. USD able to put themselves on the site, get that Cosby Divide up and running as well, and it's Apex Tamaraos right now on the critical HP department. Can Burrito and Blade figure something out, or will they just decide to go for the save instead? They're really hesitant right now because of that wall. Can't see anything, can't hear anything, and Rage Kid is the one willing to be ambitious. So the 2 duelists gonna be backing on away, and the Teletigers, they needed a bit of the heroics, they needed a bit of the commitment, and right now Rage Kid is providing that in spades. 3 here for the Sova, should be the first point on the board here for the Teletigers, and they needed that one here, Ilu.
Yeah, they did, especially with the scoreline getting a little bit out of control already. 4-0, sure, you can still... Yeah, but oh no, that was massive. The Operator removed from Blade, excuse me, as Rage Kid finds 4 kills in that round. Had absolutely no business getting that, but forces another Operator rebuy. That's a big investment that he just won out. I think it's a little bit of a misplay for Blade to be trying to peek that angle, especially with low HP, but it was, and they show exactly why, because now they force another buy here, and sure, he can probably get away with a Blade Storm next round if push comes to shove, but again, this is a great start for Teletiger Soul.
Yeah, I mean, the Rage Kid got away with the Operator peak twice, basically. He got seen first and foremost there by B main, was able to stay on alive, and was instrumental to cleanly take that A site for the team. So Rage Kid really want to watch out for, just subbing on in here for the USC Squadron, and really performing to the level that we've seen him, not just on the collegiate side, but also on the pro side. Burrito, though, in the meantime, sticking around by the cubby here. And what do you think here for the Teletigers? Should they actually up their pace, or is it all about this patience play working on that here, Ilu?
I think the pacing should be a little bit different here, especially when they have all this utility and then all of this, ultimate available for them. So they're gonna try to double up on it. A couple of good kills after Rain is able to get one onto Mon. Exia does go down as well. Arif will follow suit there after 3v2, dashing away from Cirque. And with this positioning, he might be able to cut off the rotations. A really good advanced position from him, but the site should still be takeable right now. But the smokes, they do fade away, making this a little bit more possible. Good shot from Cirque to bring things back to 2v2.
Yeah, beautiful flick right there, and that operator not gonna get much. In the meantime, though, that spike is already on site as it was dropped by the Speedway. And since Apex Samurais didn't really have their formation set up on the site, it will have to be them fighting for it. But Burrito already to wrap around against Rage Kid. Cirque in the meantime, the only one left. 1v2 situation. He does have the Blade Star available. The Cypher is quite low, and there's the spray down to get the 3K. But Burrito will answer back the same way. And Apex Samurais, they still get the retake on. It seemed like, though, at the very start of that hold, they were already able to stop the initial push of the Tail Tigers there. The Speedway littered with the UST bodies, and for Apex Samurais, that was enough to get that round.
Was, and they even recover the operator on top of it, so it's a good recovery from Apex Samurais. That could have been the round that resets Apex Samurais' economy, but instead, no, they hold on. Instead, they reset Teletigers' economy themselves. Look at this, forced to basically be on nothing. So I imagine that they're gonna go ahead, maybe drop a couple of upgraded pistols. That's really all they should have in their arsenal in this one. But on the other side, Apex Samurais, man, they're stacking those ultimates up. 4 of them have that ultimate. It's gonna be a mess if they try to go for... If they on the side of Teletigers, if they go for an aggressive maybe take, the retake's so difficult because of all the utility Tamarans have.
They don't even need to use it. That's the thing. They've been winning these rounds just by positioning, just by getting enough kills at the very start of the round before that plant even comes down. And for FEU, this has just been an incredible sight to behold from them compared to that first game. First game was pretty close. This time, Apex Samurai is looking to be a lot more dominant compared to their opponents on the other side. And here we go again. The Teletigers right now sticking on back to the defaults, waiting for someone to come their way. But really, for Apex Samurai, they're not the most, I'd say, eager team compared to the usual suspects that we see. They're happy to wait. They're happy to be patient.
Oh, no.
But Burrito ignoring the chip, and it's still gonna be the Reyna getting that takedown anyway against him. So Burrito falls on down. Such a, I'd say he could have gotten the kill and got it out of there, Ilu.
I think so too. That was definitely an oopsie as another shot coming from Blade ringing through. Good shot to take down the opposing Jet on that side. So managed to come into a 4v4 here. Definitely shouldn't have been a 4v4, but these things happen. Information now given that there are players here towards that B side, so the rotation should come in shortly. There is still, again, a lot of utility. Hunter's Fury, it should, oh, never mind. Hunter's Fury removed, and suddenly this is very much possible for the Cello Tigers 2v4 as they make their way towards B.
There we go. Vandal peeking on out. They got after Rain getting one, but still, it's the Teletigers making sure that they can get the takedowns. All left now to the Blade Storm here of Blade. Can he play to his namesake and be a cut above the rest? But no, there's the peak right now. Rage is just swinging on by. Go with that Bulldog. And the Teletigers, effectively, they're winning these rounds even though they're on their lesser buy here, Ilu. 5-2.
Honestly, I have to say a lot of it has to do with the fact that the operator, it's just not working out for them. It hasn't been getting a lot of value. They've been committing to it. They have used it a couple of rounds in a row. They forced into it as well. And, how many kills have we seen with the operator, I think, in these couple of rounds? 1, maybe 2? Yeah, hardly think so that they've found any value of it. They need to do a little bit better.
It's not even the guys that buy it. I think, Maitsu maybe got a kill a while ago, but it just really goes to show that it's not working out. And when Teletigers get to space, they go for it. And Exia right now, he's one of the landmarks here of the Teletigers, but he's gonna get felled by Burrito instead. Come on, who needs these rifles, Ilu? All we need are shares because these are the guns making an impact. But here we go right now. The push, courtesy of the Teletigers, trying to go through the midpoint, but Error finds the tap anyway. And again, Vandal, Phantom, Sheriff is all I know.
They don't even need anything else. But it's a little bit of a fake here that's coming through. All the aggression coming towards that A side as well. And they might be in a great spot to... No! What the hell? Sheriff game? Jax? What?
And cannons are all you need, my friend. Full auto comes in from Mon, but Maitsu and Burrito decide to pick them up. Scroungers right there for the Tamaraus. And another thrifty victory happens in this game. If it's not the Teletigers, it's gonna be the Tamaraus. And guys, this is why you just practice Sheriff. Who needs Vandal practice? Who needs Phantom practice? Sheriff is the way all day, every day.
Hello, sir? I don't know, man. Those kills should have never happened. But, you know, when you got stars like this who have just such good aim, they're able to take out kill after kill after kill and able to, you know, whittle down the numbers of the Teletigers away. Just can't do anything about that. Timeout now coming in because obviously the Teletigers looking a little bit rocked here. They're looking a little bit out of sorts, and so they will need to regain their confidence and their composure. I mean, who wouldn't be after getting rocked by Sheriff kills all across the map like that?
And that's the thing, because the 2 rounds they won, they're basically doing the same thing. None of their usual strategies are working right now. None of their buys are actually getting the conditions that they want in the first place and the conclusion. So for the Apex Samurais right now, just how they're answering back against the Teletigers offense, it really feels like it's just absolutely fitting for our defending team.
And what's actually on top of that more concerning is that they don't even need to use their ultimates to win the round. You mentioned this a little bit earlier on, and it's just all pure outplays from Tamaraos. They don't even need to, you know, dig deep and try to use those ultimates to turn around an unwinnable situation or a difficult situation. They're just simply outmaneuvering the Teletigers, and this is a very good sign for Apex Tamaraos. They're in the driving seat. They're that much more confident. They're even winning the pistols. This is basically a bloodbath right now. What? Wow, ridiculous shot from Blade.
Yeah, that's a statement. That's pretty much this sample of what's going on in this game right now. And it's still not done. The Tamara's going for the contest right there. Burrito will get 1 Exio will be able to trade him. But the damage has been done. And immediately, the engine of the offense sputtering at the starting gate. The Teletigers, they're really suffering right now. And the thing is, you know, in most games, Ilu, when you have an ultimate, press Q to win. But not here. For Apex Tamara's, they're just winning. Just pressing mouse 1. We're good to go. Easy headshots there from Blade and Burrito.
That's ridiculous. I mean, just the confidence coming in from Blade. He's been such a problem for the Teletigers. This is what he can do all on his own. Getting his team into positions that they originally didn't have. And how many times will he be the first person to get a kill? I just love the way he plays, looking for an opening pick and he runs away with it. So this is something that, you know, is very much in light of the SEA playstyle. You see a lot of top duelists doing this. You see Forsaken doing this kind of stuff here. John Olsen is known to play in very much the same kind of light. And obviously this round is going to go to Apex Tamaraos. But yeah, a bright future for players like Blade if they can keep this kind of playstyle and the success going.
Yeah, he's a landmark really of the Apex Samurais roster. He's been there for the UAC and all the like, and he is trying to craft his talent even more so on this roster. But we see the talent right now of the Tamaraos absolutely shimmering. Maitsu right now with that final takedown, 7-2 scoreline. And the big thing here for the Tamaraos also, these kills are spread apart pretty evenly from 9-6. Blade, Burrito, Maitsu after an error, all getting on the board, and they still have these ultimates at the ready. They're coming close to being fully kitted yet again, not just on the gun side and the armor side, but also on the team ultimates. And it feels like for the Tamaraos, they just get everything they want, everything they need, and they don't even need to use it.
This could also be a blessing and a curse, the fact that they don't really even need to use their ultimates. I do want to see them start off a round maybe looking for a kill, because at some point you're like, okay, we have so many rounds now, we've held on to this Hunter's Fury, we might as well use it. So I'd like to see them maybe try for an Hunter's Fury play to take a main or something like that to get them a little bit of an advantage earlier on in the round, just to help them just to use the ultimates that they have had just for so long, because clearly they don't need it to win rounds. But I definitely think they could make rounds a little bit simpler, things go their way a little bit more if they use it efficiently.
And here we have it, the Teletigers though, there's not much aggression from their attack. And yes, it is going to be them on an eco state, playing the defaults, waiting for someone to peek on out. But this is just basically the one of the worst teams you're going to do it against, the Tamaraos. They're just happy to wait, especially when you have a Cypher like this from After Rain. He's just going to be waiting. He's just going to be making sure that his setup is on point. And I gotta say, Ilu, the success of Teletigers in the collegiate circuit is because also they're kind of the antithesis against many collegiate teams who love to play the aggression. But here against Tamaraos right now, it's not working. It's all about persevering and enduring the wait, waiting for someone to come. And as soon as that happens, the trap is set. But Exia still finds that kill off of the Cypher. And it's up to Blade to pick up the pieces. He will get 2 for himself. Exit right now with a second kill with the Sheriff. But it's still 3v2. And the Tamaraos right now are trying to make it to that site. The Teletigers, they do have a a slim chance at this. But with the Tamras right now looking for the retake, the Lear is gonna be there. The scan is perfect, and the Apex Tamras just making a firing squad. No way in for Rage Kid. The spike was put on down, and the defuse is coming. But for Rage Kid, there's no sight of the objective. There is no sight of the opposition, and he is blinded by the point taken here by the Apex Tamras.
Blinded by the bullets that were coming through the smoke as well. Not really much you can do on top of that, but it was a good attempt. It was a good endeavor by the side of the Tigers, but yeah, good is not gonna be enough right now. A good attempt, because the score, like, man, 8-2. I don't think they can afford to lose any more than this. Even if you were a team that's much more confident on the defensive side, you have to be worried at this point. So right now they should be starting to change something, because this approach, the way that they're handling this defense, is just not sufficient. They need to start a little bit stronger than this. They tried to rush earlier on. That actually worked out for them. Maybe they can go back at this. But what we're seeing right now is Apex Tamra shutting down every single thing Tigers is throwing their way.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, cats sleep for most of the day, but right now, Tigers is sleeping for way too long on this map for the time being. And Error right now, he's been making critical ventures so far, and the errors are only coming on out from the Tigers more often than not. But there we have the scan, and here for the Tamras, they just have that idea, that inkling of where Tigers are going to station. Now they know that mid is being taken here by the side of USD. Circle in the meantime with the Cloudburst. There's a lot of vision being disrupted here by the side of USD to go over to that east side. But the Hunter's Fury doesn't care about what it sees. It just goes through the walls and more. Doesn't really get too much damage done though. It's still going to be Apex Tamras right now setting up on site. And Blade, he is able to pick up the pieces if need be. But that's to be a good kill here for the Tigers at the very least. Lockdown is coming their way. We do get the shot though to make it 4v4, but Blade now gonna be going on down, and there's space being created here. There are kills happening for the side of the Tigers, and at the very least, it should give them a vantage point to make the plant happen.
Oh well, here we go. Ultimate now coming in, but nice tap, only leading to just one error. They know that he got caught, by the way, by this by the lockdown, so I just don't think he's got much of a chance in hell here, unless a miracle happens. Look at this triangular crossfire of doom. He even gets flanked. Nothing you can do about that. But 8-3. It might still be recoverable here, Dax, by the Tigers if they can win this last round. If they make it 8-4, win the pistol round, they'll still be in the running to maybe taking this 2-0. But if they lose this 9-3, well, it's gonna be a little bit more tougher than that for sure.
What do you mean? 93 is the cursed scoreline.
Okay, fair enough. So sure, they want to win. They want to lose, actually.
They want to lose, yeah. No, but no, really. The thing is, for the Tigers, they were stuck in that deadlock. In the last game, it was like, what, 6-6, something like that, so close in the first half, but then they really bounced back and figured out what to do by the second. And you mentioned it, they're going to be going onto defense. From what we've seen so far in the playstyle, it suits them so much more if they're on the defending side. And their attack, they're basically counter strats against usual teams who love to push. It's not going to work against Apex Tamras. And for the Tamras themselves, their playstyle itself, their ideology, their philosophy as a team, it's not too attack centric, so it's not all doom and gloom here for USD. But you mentioned it, getting one more point on the board for the Tigers. Curse are not going to be more helpful, because that's more rounds to give. That's a lot more on the economy that you can play around, and it really feels like you're not going to be hitting that critical point when you go to that 9-3 scoreline, if ever.
Yeah, I mean, the 9-3 scoreline going to be absolutely crucial for, Apex Tamaraos. If they can actually get onto it, I wouldn't be surprised to see them just run away with the rest of the game. But Tigers, they have been known to be resilient. Like we've seen a lot of their games in the past. They can hold on. I like the Odin pick, actually. I like the Odin pick. It's a good time to actually pull it out. But instead of actually going to B, they're going to put it here towards A. They're not really going to run into a lot of players right now, because mid control is the name of the game here for the Tigers side, which I do like. They haven't been so aggressive with their mid control previously. Now they'll try, and that's a couple of good kills. Deep snuffed out. Just any presence just removed from the map. There are a couple of good trades here, and that's going to keep things into 3v3.
Crossfire versus Crossfire, and the Tamaraos getting away with that one. The Tigers, though, at least evening up the odds, and now gonna look for more. But down on the ground goes the Cypher, as Cirque is able to spot that white hat and kick it and make sure that it's gonna get stained red instead. Still, though, Meitsu gonna be alongside Burrito. They're gonna have to try and fight for their lives. They do have the Cosmic Divide to use, and if they can play it well, it might just segregate the members here of the Tigers. But at the same time, we already have Exia being prepared by B main, and he's gonna have to play against that smoke. Burrito right now now, keeping an eye out as much as possible. Mates in the meantime trying to watch the staircase as well. And that's gonna be the Sova here of Rage Kid, wanting to play the aggression. Shock Dart right now, flying on by, confirming his location. Good zap on the wall, and there we go with the peak. Rage Kid though is prepared this time. It's gonna be 3v1 right now. Rage Kid with another one, and he is happy. Just keep at it. This guy has no fear, even on the Sova. When he was on the Viper, he was fragging on that. He's doing the same thing again here, Ilu. And Rage Kid right now with, what, 14 takedowns on the board. That's a big bright spot here for the Teletigers as we get into their defense.
And you mentioned it at the start, the newest member of the squad, Rage Kid, performing lights out. 14 and 8, definitely the bright spot for his team. And everybody else on the squad, you definitely do need to step up a little bit more because they're looking a little bit uncomfortable here. Teletigers, maybe this isn't something that they have practiced a lot. Maybe it's not a map that they focused on, but it all has to end here because right now they're going onto the defensive side, and you know it's a little bit easier if you're on the defensive side because you know it's not as reliant on set plays or practiced out, well thought out executes. You can play a little bit more responsibly and let your fundamentals shine, especially on a map like Ascent here. So Teletigers, they might have a little bit of a better time, but they still have to survive and win the duels in the meantime. That's going to be 2 kills towards Teletiger side. No, Tamarao side rather, as it's now 3v5.
Oh, wait, that's 4v2 right there, as Exa will get one, but Burrito did find that Reyna. And for the Teletigers, again, it just all falls apart. I feel like, though, it's not even a matter of their preparation. It's just the Tamaraos are a lot more prepared right now, a lot more adjusted to Ascent, and everyone knows how to play Ascent. And since everyone does, the Tamaraos are the ones taking advantage of that fact. Shocklight right now flying on by, gets the zap there onto air for a little bit. In the meantime, we got Meitsu right now just waiting here by the generator, but they're just setting up this kill box here as soon as one is willing to drop. That's gonna be their demise. The turret though gonna try to help him out, but look at that! That's such a good gravity well, because not only does it catch out the opponents, but also it just breaks the sightline of the turret itself. So X here right now onto the corner. There's the ambition from Blade. Execute one. Burrito is right there, and the Tamaras, they just played that so well. Jumped the gun at the right time at the end, and they deservingly win that pistol.
Absolutely right. That gravity well is so crucial. Denying vision, denying information, and at the same time pulling them back, buying more time. So Apex Tamaraos, they're in pristine condition to be able to take this match and bring us to a 13-4. It's very likely that we'll see a wash here. And at this point, I'm starting to think, oh my god, we're going to game number 3. It's already looking very much like it. Because Apex Tamaraos is a completely different face from what they've shown us in the previous game. In the first game, they were a little bit, I'd say, shaky, or very much shaky, but this time they're putting their foot down here. So quick hit now coming in for the side of Apex Tamaraos. They want to just end this right here, right now.
Oh, and there you have it. Execution by the doorway, and there's just no way you can stay alive. Rage Kid, though, does at least find one as Afterrain is caught behind the cyber cage. But it just goes to show a while ago, they were just not warmed up there for Icebox. There was a contest yet, but they saw Teletigers just run away with it at the very end. This time, the Apex Tamaraos, they want to be more secure about how they play. Beautiful shot that's there from Error. Rage Kid, in the meantime, just gonna try at the very least to maybe go for a few exits here. But really, for the Tamaraos, the ball is on their court and they're just dribbling away with the scoreline right now here, Ilu.
Yeah, and I don't even think he might get one exit frag here,
Maybe.
Rage Kid, but maybe that's also oh
no. No hope, man.
Oh,
no
God.
hope. Hey,
That
hey,
feels
hey.
so bad. Like he went all the way from like A short, by the way, and like hit there.
He did the parkour that doesn't make any sound, but I gotta say, Error has shown us some very on-point darts that aren't as, I'd say, standardized between the top mid bounce dart all the way to the market. Usually people just lob it straight forward, and that one were just to check that side of a main. It just goes to
Where
show
did that even come from? Like, who even has a lineup for that? That's
from
ridiculous.
A site to A main lineup. Look at this
that's
guy,
nuts.
man. Maybe that's
Oh
his
my
name is
God.
Error because of all the times his Valorant crashed. Him trying all these lineups, man. But
Love it. Man, the
it just
lineup
goes to show.
nerds.
Practice makes
Exactly.
perfect, and Tamaraos right now looking very practiced so far. And well, Teletigers, they're gonna have the guns, but still the Tamaraos have heavy momentum here, Ilu.
Look at this push though coming in here from A main. They have 2 members already pushing through. That's a lot of information, and that could be a quick flank already coming in. But the rotation coming in, Mon looking to hold.
Yeah, one is right there, just waiting. And it finally gets to be Teletigers getting one. The gravity well, though, is not gonna be enough. And while his first hand was up, the gun was not at the ready. And the Teletigers gonna lose their Astra pretty early on. Cirque, though, in the meantime, seeing the dart coming his way, Exia does find that target. And this might just be the bright spot that the Teletigers is looking for. But Cirque doesn't want to contest against too many. Waiting for reinforcements and seeing if this Reyna can just, at the very least, catch him where he falls. Burrito, though, in the meantime, given some space here thanks to their Astra. They're gonna be looking to plant the spike down. It's still, though, the Tamara's pushing. Too ambitious, good sir. And that's the critical area you don't want to see from the Sova. 4v2 right now. The pinch is looking to happen as well with Exia here by the rafters. And it's only a matter of time till the Teletigers decide to execute. And it might be time here. Burrito gonna be down on the hill. We do have Mitsu all the way by the generator, but immediately it's Teletigers with the sightlines, Teletigers with the executions, and they will at the very least get a point on the board here in the second half.
I get why Error would push towards A main there, because there's not a lot of map control for the side of Apex Tamaraos. They needed more. They needed some foothold towards A main, but little did they know, they did not expect two players coming in already from the flank, and that's so difficult to deal with. I think a little bit more utility towards that side would have helped them a little bit further. They did assume that would have been clear because of the fact that, you know, they did get a couple of kills already towards that A site. They dispatched of the player holding it defensively. Didn't expect that there would be another there, but two more players, no chance in hell they'd be snuffed out. So now they're trying to figure out what they can do. They have a pretty decent buy actually, so it's a good round for both of these teams. It's really going to be about who has the better ideas and how to break through this deadlock.
I mean, they just forgot to ask the question, where's Burrito? Where is this guy? And they just assume that, you know, Blade's gonna be dashing on there. 1v1 perhaps, and a little unfortunate for the side of the Apex Tamaraos basically. So at the very least, we're going to be going back into the game, back into the action. A main right now going to have a triple stack so far, poking at the opposition. But Exia again preventing any kind of antics. Beautiful shot right there versus Burrito, and it's already puts a stop to any kind of potential safe rotate here for the attack.
Look how comfortable Teletigers is on the defense. It's like a completely different team right now. They're winning the opening duels. They're getting the first kills. They're setting up really good crossfires. Nice tap as well from Cirque, and that should be a 3v5. Teletigers, man, you know, the more that I look at them, the more I'm like, okay, wow, these guys can defend.
Come on, just don't walk into the Lion's Den, and if you do, you better make sure you have a sacrifice, as Cirque and Chiron will be able to get the takedowns onto two more. It's all up to Error right now, and this is where he fell a while ago. Will he get a sense of deja vu yet again? He still gets one, but the purple smog in the way, the nebulas, the cosmos, the galaxies are not going to be helping him out whatsoever. The stars just get in the way of his sight lines, and right now the Teletigers are looking to be the stars themselves instead. 2-2 on the second half, 10-6 scoreline. This is where Teletigers can get the advantage, and will we see a repeat of that first game where it's the second half where UST is able to establish their comeback potential?
This is like kind of like how they play basketball as well, where they like sort of just come back in the second half. I'm seeing a lot of parallelisms here that just seeing a lot.
I wanted to say something, but I realized, nah, I'm not. That's too biased. That's too biased in a basketball sense. But yeah, I mean, true. UST is actually a very resilient team everywhere and anywhere. Sports and esports, but Meitsu, that's be a crunch onto Cirque, but Chiron will just be able to deflate that hype after that immediate refrag. Still though, that's gonna be a good kill. Again though, Ilu, it's another proof of concept, my friend, that why bother rifle training when Sheriff is the way.
Wow. Look how far they've snuck up though, all the way towards spawn. The timing might not go their way. It doesn't. Exia snuffs and Burrito out, but they might not. They don't know. Blade, the way here towards the flank here, has access to one of two players. Which one is he gonna choose? And if he breaks this wall, he needs to decide. Oh no! No! Look around!
The Blade! So turn around, Blade. Someone, please. Someone, please.
Please, guys! Oh my God, he's wow! He made the sound.
He still got Chiron and got away with it. He akit bahay all the way to the rafters, and apparently he's just stealing that kill, stealing that gun, and giving the chance here to the Tamaraos. Come on, Mon, turn around. Sometimes you need to do so. Because Exia is only with 5 HP. He's usually the center bot of the team, the one who's able to catch out those kind of players. But this time, he has to play it safe and will go for the lockdown instead. Hunter's Fury, though, is going to get baited on at. So 1-for-1 trade on the ultimates here. But there we have the initial kill for the Tamaros as Mon does go down. Exia, though, still alive with 5 HP and does get the 3K. The lockdown is not going to get destroyed whatsoever. And Error again making a bit of a mistake there on the attacking side and gets mowed down by the power of the Odin. The Tamaros, they got a chance there thanks to the antics of the Jet, but in the end, it's still Exia who plays Sentinel to a T. He really is just his role in action.
Insane retake there from Tigers. They're just so good on that defense, whether it's retaking, whether it's just holding sites. It's something special, really something to behold here. And look at this. Exia now stepping up, showing everybody what he's capable of, putting up the numbers as well. But we do have to get, as well, Rage Kid, my god, how many times is he going to come up massive for his team? It seems like wherever you put him, he's able to find kills on his own. It's a great round for Apex Tamaros, don't get me wrong. They managed to find a couple of kills and make it very, very close, but they're missing the final blow. They're missing the coup de grace. They can't get the difference between winning a round. They can't close out the rounds. They can't convert.
That's the thing, and if you want to be an executioner, you need to make sure that you can finish strong. They're getting there, they're prepping up all the torture equipment and looking to set it up for such a spectacle. But unfortunately for them, once it's already the axe by that neck, they just can't seem to cut it so far. It's happened on the first game, and so far it's looking to happen here at the second, unless they can get some kills like that. Burrito finally shutting down Exia, and really he has to be target priority number 1. Such good intel for him, such positioning, and the Sovas do get one apiece, but the Tamaros right now will get the foothold they need by B side. Not only that, we have Burrito right now still popping on off. He will get 3 so far, and it's all up to Karome right now. He wants to fight in a 1v3 situation. He does have the Empress if he wants to play the carry. Avoids the dart so far, but he might have been heard there jumping onto the grass. And there you have it. The backstab from Maidstone will confirm it. 11-7 right now. Conveniently enough, it's Tamaros getting on the board. 2 more, and we go into map number 3.
Very close to going into map number 3 as well. Very much likely that we will. Apex Tamaros, a little bit worried for them for a couple of these rounds here, especially when they were losing rounds that they should have won. But now Tigers, they need to come up with another idea. They need to figure out a way to defeat this Apex Tamaros offense right now. Maybe a timeout is called for because you do not want them to start running away with this. Like we said earlier in the game, Apex Tamaros, they're a kind of team that can be so emotional, momentum-based kind of team that can start to run away with games if you let them. Now instead, be an 11-7 scoreline, and these teams cannot be separated once more. One of the great matchups that we've been seeing thus far. Mon finding the opening pick 4v5. Really good stuff right now for the set of Tigers.
Yeah, I concur. This has to be the closest quarterfinal we've had over the past 2 days, and Tigers looking to make sure that they can still fight on back. And it's interesting because they're the ones up by a map, but they're the ones looking to go for the comeback instead. And if we do get that UST 2-0, it was absolutely hard fought for them. But Tamaros, they still want to go for that 3rd map, but it's not looking too likely for a victory on this round, as Rage Kid will at least make that Odin count and get another one. The Tamaros are playing it slow and steady, but in a situation like this, the Tigers are naturally going to have the advantage in terms of the positioning and really in terms of the team's experience.
Yeah, I mean, now again, 3v5, Tigers not looking rattled by anything that they're getting thrown their way. It's very much likely that they are going to be able to close out this round. Apex Tamaros, they can't string 2 rounds together. Fortunately, all they need is actually 2 more. Burrito looking to bring things back up against Chiron. The Nano Swarm does actually get Burrito though, 2v4. And look at this, the Hunter's Fury, the utility usage, perfect from Tigers. Man, Apex Tamaros, they can't get a foot in the door.
In Project A, abilities don't get kills, but here we go with Maidsu getting 1, and Exia will at the very least kill Maidsu there at the very end. You really have to hunt this guy. Let's just say it outright. He is an absolute champion on the defense. He's really one of the biggest veterans, the longest, I'd say, mainstays of the Tigers roster. And this is why he's just such a dependable player on your team. Here on the defense, he does everything for you, watches all the flanks, gets the kills, sets up the utility so well. And we haven't even seen his crazy lineups with the Nanoswarm, so it's not even peak perfection yet from Exia, but the Teletigers are taking advantage of his performance, and the rest of the crew are ready and willing to play this defense even better compared to their first half.
And this defense is really sparkling, I'd say. They, it goes back to what I said earlier. If the scoreline of the first half was a little bit more doable, this might be a completely different story. But the way that things are right now, Teletigers, they still have a very good argument in this one. It's a good call from Apex Tamara to take a pause right now because, again, they cannot string 2 rounds together. It's probably going to be an eagle from them now. Apex Tamaras will have to figure out how they want to approach this, what strategy they want to run. And Teletigers, they're happy to wait it out. Yeah, you take as much time as you want, but we're going to be going into doing a little bit of a tiny force buy here. Not so 100% sure on this Phantom buy, especially
Hero
when it's
buy,
so late in
yeah.
the game.
And it's on the Cypher. Like, okay, I like. Okay, so they're thinking about it. They're gonna try. They're gonna give it a shot in this round. And even though it is late, I do have to say, if you wanna force it out, this is your only shot because, okay, I mean, you might have a few more rounds to give, but you mentioned it. Big gamble here. This is basically an all-in from the Apex Tamaras, and I really have to look forward to Burrito performing well in this round if they want to make something happen. They do go for the Blade Storm as well, and now the Cosmic Divide is going to be into play. So it's up to the duelist to put in the impact. There's the dash on in, and we do have Exia all the way in behind the crate so far. Good slice and dice action with the Blade Storm here, 5v4 for the time being. So for the Apex Tamaras, their gamble working out at the very start, but the retake is still coming. Rage Kid right now trying to mow them down with the Odin, but the wall is going to get in the way of all those bullets. In the meantime, the leader going to be there. Teletigers trying to clear out a few more corners here and now, and we do get the Empress online for the time being. One's still going to be there. We got Cairo in the meantime trying to peek someone out, and the error is going to be the first to fall to the hat of the Teletigers. It's 4v4 right now, trying to equalize the odds. Circuit meantime all the way onto the rafters. Time is ticking though, and the Tamaras still trying to go for the last stand, and they do get the takedowns from the hell angle. They set up that crossfire, and suddenly a wild ninja blade appears, and the Blaze Storm is enough to mow down the competition. The Tamaras, they gambled and they won. They stay alive and they're on map point.
Well played, great gamble. I was very hesitant about what they were doing, but that on top, just those buys on top of the Blade Storm proves that it is enough. They sense weakness towards the A site, they go ahead and take it. And ever since then, Teletigers, they just fall a little bit further down and a little bit of a difficult position. We should have been looking at 11-9. Instead, we're at 12-8 match point. Now, Apex Tamaras could be taking us to game number 3. We could be seeing game number 3 here. So, desperate times a little bit now for Teletigers. They will pull out the operator. Wasn't a fan of it earlier. Maybe it might be different now.
Yeah, and it wasn't the Teletigers whipping it out anyway. It was more so the Apex Tamaras, yeah. So we'll see if that's going to work here for the defense instead. Gotta say, though, great ISO play a while ago versus Exia. The Cosmic Divide really prevented him from calling reinforcements, and that was the target they needed in the first place. But the Odin right now, plus the gravity well, can it get the wall backs? No, eventually Ragekin will just decide to catch out the rain instead. Shafter right now flying on by. Here we go, though, with the side of the Tamaras getting a takedown that they need anyway to go onto that B side, and it's still will learn into at 3v3, leaning over now, equalize odds. But the problem here for the side of the Teletigers, they are going to be offside and looking to rotate towards that angle. Cosmic Divide right now, though, preventing the boat house from being used. Interesting use right now here from the side of the Teletigers, and they want to make sure that all of the Tamaras players are near the spike. There we go with the shot right now after Rado making it rain bullets there with the Odin, and here we go with the Apex Tamaras. They've been waiting, they've been farming up these points, and they're looking for those final takedowns. Chiron, the only hope here for the side of the Teletigers. He's looking to push on side, but then a 2v1, he might not be able to handle this. The Cypher able to avoid the bullets, and it seems like After Rain is the chosen one by the Odin there. The Tamaras Miracles will make a miracle happen on Ascent, clean up the map, and force a third map here in the series.
Wow, we're going to game number 3 here, and that's really a way to do it. Apex Tamaras holding it on, winning this game essentially off the back of a force buy, and then just taking the round following that. Really, really well played. I thought that this would have been a UST round, especially because there was just so much time for that retake. The Cosmic Divide came in, but it didn't matter because Apex Tamaras, they just had better positioning, they had better information, and even just a better hold on towards that site. So I'm expecting just a little bit more of a better game number 3. Game number 1 was very much convincing for the side of UST, but now FEU, man, making a statement. Game number 3 should be very interesting.
Yeah, I really want to see now what the Teletargets are going to do on that attacking side, because they can't just do their usual play style. We've seen time and time again for USD to beat out the likes of the FITs, the DLSUs, the ADMUs. They're the ones just so patient and looking to capitalize on the itchy trigger fingers that can pop off on the other side. But against a team like this, against the Tamara's Miracles, no, it's just not happening whatsoever. It's all about them having to make those proactive plays, and it really feels like for the Teletigers, they're looking lost in that kind of translation there, Ilu.
Absolutely, and I do think that they have to maybe clean things up on their attacking side, because on the both sides of on both games, actually a little bit of weakness on the attacking side for the USD Tigers. Maybe we'll do a little bit better on that later on, but in the meantime, it is looking a little bit shaky for me. Hopefully, it's gonna be better on as we go into the day. But Apex Tamaraos, they're proving that they can roll with the punches, even 0-1, even that, even if they were much farther down below the the scoreline, they're able to bounce back and hopefully maybe take game number 3.
Yeah, and while we're waiting for the next game to get started, we're going straight into it, guys. No breaks here. Let's wrap this one up, because when dinner time comes and you're somewhere by the beach, I gotta say it's a really nice sight to see. I don't know though. I'm nowhere near the beach. I wonder who's having a little trip right now. And Ilu, I gotta say, your bed looks comfy. Your lighting looks amazing. I love what you've done with the place, good sir. I mean, I love your usual setup, but this looks 5-star, my friend.
I mean, dude, it's because I was recently on an episode of Extreme Home Makeovers, and they just happened to move my house beside the beach.
No, I thought you suddenly got brought into like PvP or something and just casting from Bahay ni Kuya. Whoa,
Yeah.
Whoa there. Whoa. I see even more, guys. So go get your phones right now. Vote Illustrado Stay to 23666 or what?
Definitely. I mean,
Oh,
we're also going to be playing a little bit of Survivor on the upcoming days too, so we'll find out if you want to vote Dax out as well, whether he gets
Please
vote
vote me out. I want to be part of the jury, man. It seems like that's the funnest part of it. It's like, I don't like you, but I want you to win because you backstab me. See, that is the ultimate form of respect. I feel like I don't like Survivor as a whole, but the post shows where things get petty and then suddenly they say, I'm petty with you, but I want you to win. You are pretty much an asshat, and I want you to be there in the first place. But this series though, you said it a while ago, most competitive we've seen over the past 2 days. Apex Tamaraos really proving that they belong here into basically the top cut of the collegiate scene. Tigers in the meantime, come on, adjustment has to be made on the fly. And come on, Ilu, you are not only the now new Boracay Jet, but you also have that coaching expertise under your belt. How hard is it for a team to basically change their philosophy in a series when they're required to?
There are some teams that have been like, if a team is like coached well and like ready for it, some teams can do it on the fly. But for a lot of the teams who are sort of just fresh and getting into it, they're usually stuck on one mentality, and that's usually just trying to play their game. A lot of, I'd say, more veteran teams here in the Philippines, maybe like Nigma Galaxy, who have been really good with it before. Maybe teams like SV Empire, they're very capable of changing things on the fly, especially teams like maybe Team Secret. But if you're one of those newer teams who have a lot of good firepower and maybe have one playstyle, you might not have that in your arsenal just yet. This is something that you might have to have here in Haven, where it can be a very, I'd say, drastic change of map, especially coming in from a map like Ascent. So it's going to be a completely different game here, and I think the team that adapts a little bit better is going to come out on top.
I mean, if your mind is blown that from 2 sides it becomes 3, you already need to watch yourself and look yourselves in the mirror and say, why haven't we been scrimming this? But we are going to be getting that Sky here from the side of the Apex Tamaraos, and I love it if we're going to be getting that double initiator meta that really proves that these guys have been brushing on up, studying how the game is really played right now. And let's just say it outright, collegiate is where we get these fresher talents to go into the pro side. We have these incredible tournaments like the MGA just to give them that battleground, but it's up to them to take that next step. Not hindi lang yung university nila, but them individually need to perform at the level that they know they can go pro, that they can make this their future, and it can be the bright future that of the Valorant PH scene. But it seems like we are going to be getting the lock-ins. I do believe now we did get the Skies. I think the Tigers are going for the Cypher right now, but we'll get confirmation as we get into the game.
They are.
Yeah, but guys, before we get on started, just gonna say real quick, this live stream is brought to you by MSI Gaming. Prove your game with the MSI Katana GF66. The Katana GF66 is equipped with the latest 11th Gen Intel Core i7 processors and NVIDIA GeForce RTX 30 series graphics to deliver true gaming performance. The new Katana GF66 is forged with the same care as a blade. Run fast and shine on the battlefield. The Katana GF66 is available at all MSI concept stores and authorized dealers nationwide. And speaking of the blade, we still got blade on that jet. We got Matty though in the meantime in here for the side of the Teletigers, and he's gonna be on the jet instead. And the Teletigers, I do believe, have been rotating a few players here and there for today.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Mon earlier was playing on the Sentinel. Now he's gonna be switching up. XC is still gonna be on the Sentinel again. I mean, he was the Killjoy last game, but earlier it was Mon. Cirque is not gonna be the Jet now. It's gonna be Matthew who's gonna be playing on the Jet. So definitely a little bit of a switch up here as they group up towards that A site. A couple of players here. Nobody really overcommitting, and they just want to poke and prod, make sure that nobody's pushing A site too much, just so they'd have a little bit of map control and then maybe try their luck somewhere else.
Yeah, but for the Teletigers, I do have a bit more hope for their offense here on Haven because they might be able to find, I'd say, safer duels with the defense more spread on out on a map like this, on a map which has 3 objective sites. Then maybe, just maybe, the Teletigers will be able to get the odds to tip in their favor if they can find more simple 1v1s. And as soon as that happens, they get 5v4, they just overrun the site, and it might be an easier time for them. But still, the Tamaraos have proven how strong their defensive side can be in that last game, how strong they can be as a team. They're on the sense, waiting right now for the push to come. The Teletigers, of course, will take their sweet time before confirming. And even though it's going to be the A-Long already getting contested, it's still not going to be the Teletigers completely prepared. They will dash on in, and after it, we'll get that takedown on the 1-2 already here for the side of the defense. But there you have it. It's going to be Cirque stepping on up on the Silva instead. 3 in a row here for the side of the Teletigers. And eventually, they will make that E-take happen. But Ilu, it looked a little disorganized, I gotta say, at the start of it.
Yeah, not very convincing at the very beginning, but now Teletigers, they've got a little bit of an advantage here. Can they hold on to it? This crossfire is so difficult to break through, especially not with the right utility. They get a 1-for-1 though, but eventually they're gonna have that trade-off. Ending in a 2-player advantage now for Teletigers as they take the round. Okay, so honestly, I'm really liking that this map pick. I really think it's gonna go Teletigers' way. Teletigers, they have been a little bit, I'd say, weak on the offense, but the fact that this is Haven, this is a little bit more attacking sided. They can play those long angles. They can use, you know, just duels to win the rounds. I think this is definitely much more in favor of Teletigers, especially since they're starting attack. Apex Tamaraos, though, they will have to have a really good defense if they want to withstand this, but I'm liking the odds of Teletigers for now.
And quickly using my brain.exe, remembering the history of Teletigers, this is a map that they can cause the biggest upsets against the most aggressive teams we've seen so far. So really, they have that history already under the belt. But Matty looks right before left, and as soon as he does, he stares Blade in the eye, and Blade gives him a wink and gives him a tap to the head. So 4v3, the Tamaraos right now still proving how strong they can be so far on this defending half. And at the very least, they are already stationed so well here by the C site at the same time. Burrito trying to be extra sneaky, and that could be 1 for him. Still popping off, even though he's on the Killjoy. 3v2 right now. And the question is, can the side of the Tamaraos find a bit more of that firepower along the way? Will they be able to go for the overrun? The Sky unfortunately can't heal herself. It's all up to the Silva and the Chen to tap those bullets. But Rage Kid right now peeking on out. And there we go with the aggression from Rage Kid. 1, 2, 3. The beat of the Rumble beat down against the opposition. And the Teletigers will be happy to have that aggressive player on their roster.
My God, Rage Kid just absolutely coming out of the woodwork yet again. How many times today is he going to be bailing out his team? As you take a look at the replay, it's just one after the other. He's able to pull things back. Definitely was a tough spot. I like the call. I like that they go for the re-aggression on top of the fact that they had a man disadvantage because they know that they could win SMG. They try to force a close angle, and they really catch off the members of Tamaraos off guard, waiting for the right time. It's a fine game of chess that we're seeing seeing here. Apex Tamros, they know that they could just wait for the plant to go down and then just make a move. But Teletigers knew that they didn't want that to happen, so instead they push, they take the matters into their own hands, they run away with a couple of kills.
Oh, but Matthew right now just gonna be knighted there and immediately going after that B main. Immediately though, Error in the meantime, as well as Blade winning at Super 2. And suddenly the Tamaros, they're getting takedowns that they need. Error right now staying on the link, and he has just linked up to the rest of his squad and said, guys, I got this. 4 kills for him. And immediately the Teletigers will fall on apart. But I do have to say though, I did like in a way what the Teletigers did, because they've shown that they can play at the very least at the speed that Rage Kid has given us all throughout the series.
Yeah, definitely. Rage Kid. My God, the Sovas almost basically both have their ultis ready. They just have been so crazy. It's round 3, by the way, and Cirque already has his ultimate up. It's Error just a couple of orbs away from it too, so it's basically up there as well. And just going to show how, you know, how dominant they have been here. Now, a little bit of A take, a little bit of an A aggression coming in here. Blade will look to push the envelope a little bit further, but he will be met by a lot of resistance if he goes around this corner.
Yeah, just so dicey right now, and the Tamaros, they're feeling a lot more confidence after the firing range antics that Error has proven so far. Now Tigers though, waiting for the time being. After Rain in the meantime, over onto the corner, and here for the Teletigers, they go back to what works for them. They go back to playing waiting by the spawn and looking to go for those pickoffs. But Blade right now, he's prepared on the left-hand side. Will exit peek him just a little too late on the trigger figure. Blade even quicker, dashing on away. And for the Tamaros, they're just happy to see the Teletigers going back to their roots, because that is where they can take advantage to already. Here for the Tamaros, Burrito gonna get on the board as well. But here comes the newest sub on in. We got the Jet of Matty getting that takedown for the time being. And this might be the entry that the side the Teletigers need. The swing comes on by, but Meitsu is able to hold the line and hold his feet to get that takedown. Now then, it's all up to Rage Kid there by the platform, but he's at the foot of it, tries to jump on up, but the only thing that he can jump for is the next round, as Blade is there to get that takedown. So 2-2, the Tamaros again, happy to see UST be UST.
Not 100% sure why he would try to go up and jump onto that.
Maybe he knows a tech that we don't. Maybe Sky has a double jump, bro.
I don't know, maybe channeling Mario a little bit too much on that one, but definitely he got a good kill anyway. Regardless, 2-2 is where we find ourselves. Even scoreline, a couple of ultimates available for both of these teams. Actually, almost everybody will have them up very, very soon, so it's gonna be absolutely massive whoever can use it to, I'd say, their betterment. Now, again, they're running the same play. Here on the defensive side, Blade likes to get up close, and it did pay off for them a little bit earlier on, and I imagine they're going to keep running it up until they get punished for it. And they do commit a little bit of resources just to be able to, you know, actually do it. The Owl Drone will be used for it, and it does get information that there is a Cypher waiting in the wings, waiting to pounce and set up a trap here. Good flash. That flash just informs them that Blade is up here, and they already know. He has Mites who gets the kill onto Mon. They trade it out with another. That's already 2 kills. Great stuff from Tamaros.
Unfortunately though, here for Exia, even though the side of the Teletigers knew that Blade was there, they didn't know that there's gonna be one more pushing, and from the tunnels, Sova gets that takedown. Rage Kid though, oh, he misses first shot, but he does get the second, and let's just say he one-tapped that and prevents that miss from happening in the first place. Error in the meantime with the kill out the Rage Kid, but Cirque from afar, hey, that's a good kill onto the Astra, who I believe was already lit on down. But it's still 3v1. This is a poor corner to stay on. But Cirque is still fighting. He never wants to give up. Don't ever give up. Never surrender. Sabi John Cena. And right now, the Silver right now is trying to give us an adjustment on the attitude we've taken on this round. Can he actually push all the way to Seaside cleanly? Will he be able to pick up a gun? He's creeping closer and closer though. But the problem is, he has to put that spike down here, Ilu, with that amount of time. Picks up the Phantom right now. Gets the gun. They now do know that Cirque is here. But the Tamaros coming in from the garage, Trailblazer looking on around. The stun does get the connection. And Burrito and After Rain looking very prepared. Guiding lights right now. Does get the flash, but it's a little too late there to save Burrito. It's only going to be a little bit done against the Sova. Here we go again with After Rain. Peeking onto the right-hand side. Cirque tried to get the configuration on, but couldn't trace the Sky's movement. Such a big effort, though, from Cirque. But it's still Apex Tamaros who gets the points.
Well played from Cirque there. He almost gets that clutch in, and that round should have never even gotten that close, not in the least. Look at what exactly happened. I mean, Cirque, he gets so many kills. He has a Hunter's Fury up, but obviously in that position you wouldn't want it. He isolates to a 1v1. He knows where the last player is coming from, just can't win the duel. Heartbreaking. Those are the clutches that you will be having nightmares about after that. But, I mean, it is what it is. You got to move on from it, and hopefully tell the Tigers they can recover.
Yeah, tell Tigers though, they're going back to what isn't working. They're going back to the basics that they've really shown us in the career. And you mentioned a while ago when we were talking about how these teams need to adjust. The Tell Tigers, they need to prove that they can actually take the fight against the Apex Hammeraos rather than just waiting all the way in spawn for someone to come their way. So this time, they're gonna try just that. Short right now being heavy contested here by UST. Hammeraos have to give that space on up, and they might have to give up the whole site here. It's not the worst situation though for FEU, because look at the ultimates that they have. Hunter's Fury, Lockdown, they are prepared for a retake scenario.
Yeah, honestly, it's a good call. I think them falling back, whoa, spray through the smoke. There's actually a little bit of damage, not too much. The spike should go down. Hunter's Fury will come out just to dissuade them from planting it a little bit further. One more tap could do the trick, and they just sidestep it, no problem there at all. So that's one ultimate removed from the equation. They still have to deal with the lockdown, but they're a little bit of apprehensive using it because they know that there's a Sova on the other side with that ultimate as well. They will commit to it eventually, though, I think. That's going to be it here. That's going to be as well the Hunter's Fury. Everything's going to be deployed right now. A lot of utility being thrown out of here, and the Hunter's Fury perfectly timed. The crossfire holds up, but they can't get the kills. It's Mon and Burrito and Afterrain who actually do it, and they're putting their way into the side. One player left, right behind the wall. They know where he's pinned, he's trapped, he's gone. Sark with 3 kills again, being the lifeline for his team in this one. Absolutely well done by Tile Tigers.
Man, this Cirque again just playing so well. How many times have I seen him just clutch it out for the team? A while ago it was an almost, this time it was an absolute slam dunk. And this is why he plays that Jet in other maps, but here on the Sova, he's able to be as effective. But the Tele Tigers, they play that so smart. They knew Apex Hammeraos was happy to let that retake to happen in the first place, but they still had the right angles. They used that Cosmic Divide even to protect Matty along the way. And from that point on, they're able to equalize. They do have that aggression in them here, Elu.
Yeah, they do, and oh, after rain. Fallback almost gets caught out there, almost gets punished for playing a little aggressive. Matty is able to get one tap in, though. One more player on site. Can he hold on to this 2 players? And good hold right here. For the meantime, Flash does come through, buying them a little bit more time. Oh, look at that. Burrito getting another kill. Blade follows it up, and with a Guardian, he's managed to find 2. Still 1v2 clutch situation right now, and it's very much possible for Rage Kid.
Yeah, the taps from Burrito, though, instrumental to hold things off. And really, in a funnel like that, it's so easy to hit those shots anyway compared to other angles. And Burrito able to take advantage. Spike right now all the way out in the open here by the entrance of the site. The Rage Kid trying to be extra sneaky peeky like, but unfortunately, you can't fool the turret, and it immediately locks on to the sky. Not only that, the guiding light just gets stuck in the corner, trying to fade out a little bit of that intel. But the Hammeraos, they're not biting whatsoever. Rage Kid cannot get any fish out of this barrel, and the turret is the real contender here, Elo. It's not 1v2, it's 1v3. Finally, the turret does go down, but with only 30 seconds left and 2 players on the other side, Rage Kid will need to get out of this one, and that is how he does it. He's able to climb against the odds, able to just get the shots 1 and 2 as the peak is a little too late from the Killjoy, and Tele Tigers again built out by the sky.
Rage Kid, masterful clutch right there. Just, I like the idea from the Apex Hammeraos. They play it to perfection, but perfection just isn't enough. They go for the swing, one after the other. The trade kill does try to come out, but Tele Tigers, man, Rage Kid's so ready for it, knowing that there's one person at the backboard side. Where else would he be? He wanted to be in a position where he could go and try to refrag, but he got fragged himself, and in a 1v2 position, Rage Kid just absolutely shows everybody what he's made of. Timeout now called by Apex Hammeraos, and you have to call one after losing that.
Yep, Hammeraos. This is where they went wrong, Elu. They baited their teammate. They baited their turret teammate. If they only peeked with the turret. This is why turret lives matter. Auto aim, auto tracking. That's a perfect sign when you have two players anyway. But Rage Kid, we've seen him just do that a while ago with the guiding light into the 3K all the way by C-Link. And this time he just does it on C side, cleans up nicely when the defense was just a split second too late for the Tell Tigers. This is where the experience really shines. This is where the clutch comes on in. And the Tamaras, while they've really put on such performance today, and especially here against USD, they're still relatively the more inexperienced team compared to their contemporaries. They know that they're the ones climbing on up to be at the top cut of the collegiate circuit. They know that the win here against USD will really rise their stock. But USD, the Tell Tigers, they're really been the main force of the collegiate circuit for a good reason, and they show it there even with Rage Kid on the roster. Cirque, though, in the meantime, has been the one to watch out for. This Sova is just absolutely insane with the shots. Double initiator is really heading the charge here for the Tell Tigers. It does seem like it's looking to be an E-take for them this time.
I agree. I mean, it's just one of those situations where it's gonna take a lot. You got to dig very deep if you want to come out of this on top. Now, they're gonna send all of their bodies here towards that A side. Blade looking to be aggressive with the operator. Sees the shoulder of one, decides to fall back instead before he does get punished. And I think it was a right decision that they actually do. Fall back safely, and it's going to be a full rotation here. They're going to try to work their way towards C. They do leave Exia here towards mid, so it could be very interesting because he could catch off a couple in rotation as they work their way towards that C.
Oh, and here we have it. All the way in C-side, Meitsu is prepared. Tamaras, though, they did go for the operator this time, and that is why the Tell Tigers decided to go take their business elsewhere, and suddenly it's already a deal being made as Meitsu does go down to the ground. Matty with that takedown, and how will the Tamaras right now figure out the angles here? C-side, not really the best for the operator, but Burrito in the meantime with a kill on Exia. Not only that, that gives him that lockdown to play out in the first place, and this will force the Tell Tigers to get offside. Now, this is space that the Tamaras want in the first place. Mondo, he was trying to play sneaky on the side, but the guiding light gets the intel anyway. Scope on in, Blade right now with that takedown, and the Tamaras are getting the spaces that they need. Really well crafted, really well created there by the Killjoy, and it's just an artisan expression here from Burrito to give them that round.
Yeah, well played, well taken. Round 4-4, and they're very much looking like they're in overtime territory. This is like another close game. This is one of those games that probably will go the extra mile here because we have seen what these players are capable of, whether it's comebacks, just anything really. Now operator does come through. We have Blade on it, and just the like varying degrees of success that Blade has found success on it. I really like him on the aggressive Vandal even more. That's probably I'd say what really suits him, but maybe he'll make a bit of a difference here as he does try to go for that aggressive push towards him.
Yeah, no, the short that still doesn't connect. That's the thing. A while ago, the Tamaras, especially Burrito, he's like, Blade mag-off ka na naman, sige na nga, I will adjust and I will make them start to stay on the way. But this time, up close to personal Rage Kid gets one, but there you have it. The second shot is where it counts, and Blade at the very least will get that refrag. But again, UST proving how their game IQ works. They're going for a potential B take. Interesting enough though, Mon is the one scouting on the round, even though he had the spike, and as soon as they realize that that's gonna be the case, they'll put it down on B side. Intel though, given already to the Tell Tigers thanks to Neural Theft. Error gonna be alongside Outrain there, and they're gonna be trying to go for the push past the gravity well, but Blade right now with another takedown. Matty and Mon on the outside right now, and the Seekers though will spot him out quickly. Blade with the 3K so far. The first shot doesn't connect, just get the 3K anyway. Mondo will get Blade at the very least, but too many people, not enough bullets, and they're gonna be able to pick up that up. Come on, there you go. Picking up that operator. Good to go for the Tamaras. And after that timeout, it seems like they were able to be more secure on their defense here, Ilu.
Oh, great stuff. And again, 5-4. Apex Tamaras picking up the pace here, and they're looking a little bit better here. Look at Blade again, once more performing exactly as we expected him to. Picking up that operator and running away with it now. I'm gonna come up and make that look and see whether Tell Tigers can once more find their footing in this. They haven't been reset just yet, but their economy really not in the best of places. In these final rounds of the half, they have to make the statement. Blade changing angles, does get a tag, I think, in. No, doesn't really get it though. Did he get it? I can't see.
I think the Sova is
Sova, yeah, he looks in the red.
Yeah, there you go. There's the heal to confirm it. And Still, this time at least, the first shot does connect, but it's still not the kill that they're looking for. But the second shot, that's the thing, Ilu. They get one chance to stay alive against the operator. And then from that point on, it's the blade pop-off show. And right now, we're looking to pop onto A sites. The Tell Tigers, though, given, I'd say, the space that they would like in the first place to put that one down, Cosmic Divide gotta be the call. And it is high time for them to get that intel through the Seekers as well. Tell Tigers getting the push that they need so far.
Well, there you go. 5v5 right now as they make that push towards A. Here comes the Astra ult. They get the spike down perfectly. None the wiser on the side of the Apex Tamaraus. Now they even had people rotating all the way back. They thought it was a fake. And now they're making that full rotation, and 5v5 should come through. They have an Astra wall of their own. Ultimates now will be deployed, and they're going to try to take it handily. Ultimate Hunter's Fury as well will be used up. Can they actually get the kills? That's going to be one that they have managed to find here. And Mon holding the close corner. He mows them all down. Mows one, but that's all he gets. 1v1. And it's up to Burrito. Can he make it extra spicy? No, it's going to be Cirque one more time. Tell it Tigers. They take it 5-5, 5-6.
Yeah. Pokes a hole in it, and the rice just comes out. And here we have it right now. This is just another, I'd say, throwback to the first game. We're getting this kind of match to be this close. But from the history we've seen so far, and from really that Icebox's inspiration, still gotta watch out for the Tell Tigers coming into the second half with that potential 6-6 scoreline, and especially when they're gonna be on the defense for the Tamaraus. If they can get the next 2 rounds, it's gonna be big for them. Interesting enough though, you look at Tell Tigers, they still have enough money to pick up rifles. Yes, it's just gonna be the very last bit of their savings, but they're still gonna contest with the Phantoms and Vandals after all the antics we've seen for the past few rounds.
Well, 5-5, and this just could not be closer. Again, the map, the team that is delivering good adjustment for Blade. He finds that first pickup onto Matthew, Jet for Jet. Blade prevails 4v5 right now, and he is going to come out with his team ahead a little bit more. Now it's going to be about how Tell Tigers can come back into this round. They are on the attacking side, so it's not really that terrible to be in a 4v5, but they have to get the next pick off.
Yeah, it's still a chance to overrun a site if need be. Good on Blade though, making that first shot count this time. And when the operator just gets even more and more of that momentum, it's going to be extra scary here for the side of UFC. They have to be frightened right now by the potential of Blade, and they're using potential intel tools here to, at the very least, figure out what's going on in the garage. It's interesting. You have the Cypher, you have the Sky, you have that Sova. So many options right now to figure out what's going to be going on here. The Aldron scouting on around as well in the garage. We do have the Tell Tigers waiting in such a patient round here for both sides, but Mesa right now is forced into conflict. 2 in a row here for the side of the Tell Tigers. They're able to set up here on C site, and while Tamaraus are trying to regroup, wait for someone else to come. Blade right now is looking all around, might get peeked here by Rage Kid. The ambition and the heroics of the Sky, willingness to fight against an operator just like that, but it's going to be so difficult here for the Tamaraus. Blade right now, the way to find on the Rage Kid, error peeking on out from the Nebula as well, and here comes the Apex Tamaraus looking to make a miracle yet again. Another sideline here for Blade to use. The Blade Storm is out, but that's not really the call that he would like. Cirque-Mon, they do get the takedowns that they need at the very end, and with the lack of pressure there from the Tamaraus, the Tell Tigers form up on the funnel and use C-Long to get those takedowns.
Absolutely. Great play from Tell Tigers. They're able to run away with that one, bring us to 6-5. They have the advantage in the halftime. Well, almost about to be, unless they could be turned around on. It's very much possible we could see a 6-6. The economy, the money, not too great right now for the Apex Tamaraus side, so we could very well see a 7-5. But to say that Matthew, he's only really going to be on the Spectre, but he does have the Blade Storm that he could be using to the fullest. To come to it, Recon Dart, double bounce, not going to be spotting anybody. It will be taken down the moment it does come up, but a double push here towards A-Min could catch out a couple of players. We'll see if it does come into fruition, because there's 3 people on the other side of it waiting for any indication that there is some aggression here. They spot out Blade, sure, but they still have to know that it's a possibility after Rain is just right around the bend.
Yeah, that's the thing. Still a potential target to watch out for. But the thing is, Tell Tigers, they have so much intel tools. Might as well use them. Might as well get what kind of information you can gather in the first place. UAV needs to be on online. And here we go with Teletigers getting online on B side, but in behind. A potential flank here from After Rain might catch out Exia, who hops away from the window. Watch out for this angle. It's going to be a power position here for the Sky. Sees already a free target against the Astra. Might know that the Cypher is there as well. And here we have it. The Apex Samurais looking to go for the pinch from in behind. Rage Kid though just fighting on back. On side gets two. And the blades here from Matty will be able to dice Burrito down into some chop pizza instead. After Rain though will find Cirque. And here comes Matty in the meantime going for more. 2 versus 1. All up to After Raid right now. And it does seem like the sun is going to shine very, very soon. After Raid right now will be able to get the takedown. But the blades are there to cut him up at the very end. And the Teletigers prove that they can fight no matter what. They can still handle the backstab. And it's a 7-5 with USD having the advantage going into the defense.
What a turnaround right there. You thought that they would start to run away with it. You know, on the side of Tamaraus, they had a really good entry towards that site. They had a really good opportunity to just take that round and bring it 6-6. But instead, Teletigers, man, they pulled things through. And I do have to point out, Matthew with those blades, absolutely phenomenal. Able to get a couple of good kills. You know, the positioning from him, really well done. Well supported by the rest of his team as well. That just nets them to 7-5. Just goes to show how good Teletigers can be when they are coordinated, when they do work hand in hand.
And just Rage Kid again. He's the one to look out for. The tip of their spear. He is the sharpest fang for the Tigers so far. And even though he fell there, and Matty was the one who was able to pick up the pieces without his multi-kill at the very start of that chain of events, it would have been a quick overrun on both sides of B side. But right now, the sides haven't swapped, and the Teletigers looking to be in home court on the defense. There's the push, and Exia, of course, is the guy to watch out for. 2 in a row, but Maitsu, no one is watching! Over on C-Long instead! And the Astra is able to just freely get those takedowns in that case. So 3v3, Matty gonna be jumping into the garage, but he doesn't know that the Killjoy is there right behind him. There we go with the shots. The Sheriff will be able to get the backstab headshot anyway. And here comes Maitsu right now getting the 3K, looking for a 4th, doesn't get it, gets Rage Kit, but still error is there to find that takedown. So not only do they get the wipe, they get the spike plant, and the Tamaraus took advantage of a small error of communication there for Teletigers.
Definitely. Teletigers, man, they look good, but Apex Tamaraus, they managed to find these, again, much like the previous games, these moments, these bright flashes of inspiration where they suddenly are able to dig deep and, you know, are able to call upon their inner strength and just, I don't know, the heart of the cards, something like that. And out of nowhere, they take a round that they shouldn't.
Dude, they just were able to flip that trap card on its head immediately, and it's so unfortunate. I'm summoning Exia in defense position, but you know, all credit aside, we've got Matty right now holding on to the side. There's the dash on Indo, a distraction made by Blade, and it's After Rain able to rain down that hail of bullets from the other side. Seems like for the Tamaraus, if they can find that small gap on the defense of the Teletigers, it's the perfect opportunity. And really, Exia, he has to really step on up. He only has 3 kills, 2 from that last round, and he has to feel like he is at home here on the defensive half of USD. But the Tamaraus want to equalize. They're already set up on site, and it's going to be so difficult here for the Teletigers to get anything out of this because the graffiti being held by the Sky. Blade gonna be there as well. One right now peeking on that, taken down by After Rain. The tower hold here by Cirque might not get anything whatsoever. So it just goes to show here for the Apex Tamaraus, they got the win condition that they need. They saw the opening, they took it, and here they come on the outside, surviving even the efforts there of Exia to safely evacuate all the way back to their spawn.
Definitely good exit, good execution. You know, at the same time, they keep 5 people alive. That's going to keep their economy very much healthy up until the very end. Should be a couple of rounds here. The bonus round going to be very healthy, and the fact that they can afford a Phantom on a bonus round like this should be the difference between getting a couple of kills and maybe even winning the round here. I like that they go for it. I like that they're actually, you know, able to, you know, afford this, and this could actually be the nail in the, I mean, not the nail in the coffin. It's a bit too early for that, but definitely the nail in the round. And you know, Apex Tamaraus, if they can win this one, they're gonna be in a great spot.
It's a tipping point, especially if the Teletigers can't get this cleanly. If they lose too many members, they're still gonna have a big disadvantage coming into the next round, because if you see their money, they see their wallets, it seems like they cashed out all their SLP already and it's nothing done anymore after this one. But Guiding Light already gonna get that gong to hit, and Blade to be able to get that takedown. What a flash here from the Tamaraus, and the Flash and Panda are already going off the C side, but at the very least there is the contest there from Matty as well as Rage Kid. 4v3, site has been taken. The Tamaraus right now getting prepared prepared to stay away from the utilities, but there's the guiding light in behind them, but it's still gonna be enough to get the takedowns anyway. Blade Burrito on the board. Rage Kid right now versus 2. There's gonna be the Killjoy and the Sova playing up from different angles. No full commit peaks as of yet. 26 HP. Can they get some indirect damage done? And there we go. The turret is there. Rage Kid, you can't handle that, good sir. And the auto aim is just on point. That's a good turret there from Burrito. Who's a good turret? You're a good turret. You gotta pet that gadget as it's an 8-7 bonus one here by Tamaros. Stellar victory right there. And here for the side of the Tamaras, they were just hungry for it. They want to prove that they're the ones who can put the nail onto the second half coffin that they're looking for, and that is just the tipping point really going even more so in their favor. Just seeing that Rage Kid all alone there on the other side. Sheriffs right now are forced out, and this is just such a bad economical state here for the Tigers. They're gonna need a miracle if they want to bounce back into this half.
Yeah, absolutely. It's it's not completely forlorn or forsaken just yet. It's still 8-7. They can give away a round or two, but they definitely have to kick it into gear. I mean, it's a good way to take the site. Look at this, Apex Tamaros. They have managed to take the site easily, completely. 5 people. Now Tigers, they are going to get a 5v5 retake with the lesser weaponry. I don't favor their odds, but again, if they can... Oh my god. Okay, I'll eat my words one more time. That's another couple of sheriffs, man.
Believe! You gotta believe in them, and there we go. It's a 1-for-1 after everything is said and done. Burrito now versus Rage Kid. Here we go yet again. But it's still the turret in the way, and Rage Kid, he fell a while ago against the turret in that last round. But now he's gonna go for the Seekers instead. Phantom gonna get picked up as well. There we go with Burrito peeking on the outside and ignores the cabbage coming his way. Goes for the takedown on the sky instead. And Burrito again clutching it out for his team. 70 takedowns, and the Tamaras are gonna be happy to see him wrap up that round.
Oh my god, yeah, dude. Just the moment I say, yeah, I don't think that they can do this in a 5v5. Well, no. I guess you're just straight up wrong, Illustrato. You're just straight up
non-believer. Twice shy, man. Don't. The Sheriffs on one side and then Burrito on the other. Just such a big difference maker. And here and now, this becomes even more and more of these nails being put to the test against the Tigers slowly but surely. The funeral is being set on up here by the Tamaras. They're looking to already book the flowers. They're looking to, at the very least, find a place to put that gravestone down unless the Tigers show some signs of life very, very soon. 9-7 though, as you say, it's still doable, but Tamaras, you can feel the confidence brimming from the squad right now.
Definitely. Confidence is in fact rife. Of Apex Tamaros. They're just gonna walk in towards B. Get the tag off as well, which allows Blade a little bit of a life, a path towards it, doesn't matter. Good trade though, coming in here for After M. And that's gonna be another trade. Oh, they're just trading blows right now. It's still a Tigers. They found yet again another one. 4v2, it's looking like a good combat here. Could be 8-9. 2 players only alive for the Apex Tamaros.
Yeah, some heartbeats right now from the Tigers here. The Tamaras, they walked into the sightlines of that ceiling just to die. And now it's going to be up to Burrito alongside his Sova to try and figure something out. But Matty going to get destroyed there by Burrito. Really, remember guys, he was on that brain a while ago. So you can expect him to pop off no matter what. But Rage Kid on the Kafriti side. And he's able to spray down the opposition and shake that can and shake up the momentum of this half. A little bit of the celebrations there as well. 9-8. And the Tigers, they were hungry for a round. And it took them at least 4 rounds before that to get into this one as we get into a timeout as well.
Yeah, definitely. 4v. I mean, that 4v2, they're just coming off the back of a couple of really good plays on the Tigers side now. Timeout does come in. I do appreciate the timing on this Apex Tamaros timeout. It's a really good time to do it. Just nip it in the bud right before it starts to get a little bit out of control. And that's exactly when they'll want to do it now. 8-9. It's, again, this is very dangerous territory right now for both of these teams. Anybody could come out of this as on top, as a victor. Really up in the air as to who's going to take this game. I do want to point out a couple of standout players that we've been seeing. Again, you pointed out Rage Kid. He's just been absolutely phenomenal, whether it's been on the defense or on the offense. He's someone that his team can really rely on in the future. I wouldn't be surprised. Transitioning to the pro scene should be like absolutely effortless for a person like this.
Yeah, he's played. He's played. Again, I remember him standing in for Fractals for some tournaments here and there. And he can be incredible on so many different roles. So I wonder which team he's really on. I wonder if he's gonna be part of a team very, very soon, because there's a lot of talent on this guy right now. On the other side, Blade has been really building himself up, but Burrito has been the one to watch out for here for the Apex Tamaraws. Gotta say, he's been incredible on flexing even to the Sentinel role and still able to put in the same impact that he did on the Reyna a while ago. But here we go back into the game, back into the rounds, and the Tamaraws already seizing and sieging that A site with a split push. Rage can go into the corner. Guiding Light is perfectly placed here by After Rain, and the swing already onto the left-hand side. Easy takedown there by the Sky of Apex Tamaraws. They just made that look like elementary right there, good sir. And you can see that they're getting a clue right now that they have the space to go on the A side. They're still playing it a bit on the slower side, waiting for the lockdown to fully commit itself. And as the Detain doesn't really get anyone, they do know they have the safe space right now to go on site. 5v3, and really the Teletigers taken aback by the force of nature that was the Tamaraws.
Well, 3v5, I don't know, could be just safe territory right now. Doesn't matter, they're gonna try anyway. Mon looking to push through. No timing, no, not at all. Again, Apex Tamaraws, a little bit of a questionable push there, I think, by Teletigers. I think they're getting a little bit tilted. That definitely could have been a save call, but instead they're gonna go ahead and push for it anyway. And look, just the economy not really in a good spot here for Teletigers. They could go for the operator. I think they're deciding whether they're going to run it or not.
Yeah, no op for now. And that's the thing. We saw that Tamaraws, as soon as the lights went out and they were ready to go, they just went at that A angle. And Rage Kid, he didn't expect After Rain to be that aggressive against him. It's just a perfect flash right there, blinding the Sky fully and allowing him to get that simple takedown. So to Tamaraws right now, they're gonna do it again. If they ain't broke, don't fix it. And it was nice once. Let's see if it's gonna be nice twice. The thing is though, the Teletigers, they're gonna get kitted with 4 out of 5 of them. This is gonna be a difficult endeavor here for Exia to even get that takedown. I believe he had that frenzy for quite a while. And the Tamaraws right now, they realize the situation. They know that Teletigers have already rotated. They know that they're set up on A. So here we go again, the journey towards another site.
Yeah, well, now it is going to be a little bit of a push, slow push here towards that middle area, towards that garage. See whether they can find anything just now, because, they have taken a little bit of damage, Tigers, but it's nothing that they can't recover from. They do have that Sky heal should it come to it, but they will have to regroup. Now, they will be trying to push here towards that A site, and it's looking to be completely vacant, actually. But here's the thing, Teletigers Rage Kid around this corner. Oh, that was massive. He needed to have that kill. They're going to fall back right now, and I don't know. It's looking like the A side looking so very vulnerable up until Rage Kid re-aggression. Good stuff. Trying to bait for his team a little bit more than that. Just as long as he stays alive, he does God's work getting another one. And that's 2 kills, and Teletigers off the back of Rage Kid one more time will successfully find a couple and maybe even the round. Spike drops in the middle of nowhere with no time. Oh, look at that. Exia and Cirque able to close out that round.
Just walks into the sidelines of Exia. He was right there in the corner, and they were looking at each other. Are we gonna go for it? Are we gonna cross this wall? And as soon as they said, come on, let's do it together, they just died together there in one fell swoop. But you mentioned it, Rage Kid did not even flinch. Sure, he did have to back on away, but at the same time, that reposition was just preparing himself for the push of Blade. And Blade himself, he was in a different area code in terms of his mind space. He wasn't really looking at where his opponents could come from. And from that point on, it was just a complete collapse on the attacking side. Teletigers able also capitalize. And here we go again. Who can actually finish this game properly? Who can actually take that 13 at the very end? Because it does seem like there is that struggle right now for not just what the Tamara side, but also for USD to finish up these games. But here we have it. Error right now. Gonna be able to get the takedown. Mates After Rain gonna get on the board, and the Tamaras are back in action on the offensive. 1v2 though, after Matty gets to for himself. It's all up to Error right now. The Cloudburst though is gonna dissipate very soon as Matty will reposition on top of the logs, but it's Exia who has picked up a gun, who's able to get that takedown and give double digits here to the Teletigers. 10-10, and we are not done with the final quarterfinal here, Ilu.
Nowhere near. We are going into that double-digit realm now, and still these guys are fighting hammer and tongue, tooth and nail, and neither of them want to let go off the gas pedal here. Sure, you might have an ego here and there, but even then, just the sheriffs have just been proven dangerous. Any gun that these two teams pick up has been an absolute weapon. I don't know, dude, like, It's so close, and both of these teams have such a good read on each other. It's feeling like 4D chess. A lot of it is coming down to the wire. Very much a lot of 1v1s, a lot of 2v1s, ridiculous stuff. And in the end, a couple of victors do emerge. Now, a little bit of a push here, double up towards that short area. Matthew now playing this angle alongside Rage Kid, who has been the bright spot for his team. Nobody really on the other side, nobody to receive because everybody is going to be towards that B side area. It might just be a fast plant. They might just try to get that quick plant off just to be able to get a little bit more money in, but it's not looking like the case because Blade opened things up with a great kill. Matthew gets one as well in response, but still it's that B side open that should be the plant going down. Hunter's Fury comes into the deny, doesn't actually get the deny, and then maybe it doesn't matter because right now they do have the spike going down. Blade keeping on going, he finds another one, almost finds Cirque, but it doesn't happen 3v3.
Yeah, 3v3 indeed. Tamros, they said we so want to get this round over with, but they're still fighting, they're still lasting, and that's gonna be Matty going on down. 3v2 after the beautiful tap there from the Killjoy. Rage Kid gonna be the only one left after Rain finds Cirque anyway, but the Seekers at least gonna be some good friends to get that intel, but this is looking too difficult to handle here. The Sky has to really push past his limits and get these takedowns if he wants to give the Teletigers the advantage. There's the first one there from Rage Kid, there's the second as well, and it's now after Rain versus Rage Kid. The flash does come, and he can't see anything. Here we go again. Rain does it one more time versus Rage Kid. The full flash into the thrifty win. The Tamaraus got over with it and got the victory anyway.
Well, oh my god, just the usage of the sheriffs on that. How are they pulling these kills just like out of nowhere? It's like, hey, I have a sheriff.
Sheriff
win the round now.
Sorry guys, Sheriff best gun. That's just
It's
it.
been the story of this like entire day where people have just been getting these ridiculous wins off the back of ridiculous plays. Now, I don't know.
It just proves
flabbergasted.
mechanics, man. That's the thing. I think that's the thing. These guys still getting even more and more experience on the tactical side, but when it gets down to it, what do we always say about these kind of games? Shoot, head, win game. And Unga Bunga go for the takedowns. Tamara was able to just Unga Bunga their way through that B side with the Blades of Blade. And of course, just how we saw Afterrain really step up and shut down Rage Kid there. And they're equal on the kills right now. Afterrain has been an unsung hero, basically, with all of the antics he's done so far for his team. And not only that, I think it's really that big MVP prioritization. Shut down Rage Kid as soon as possible, be the counter to the problem that we've seen so far. But as we get here, the Tamaraus crawling their way to C site. They're hesitating a little bit because of the smoke in the way, but Mon as well as or Blade rather are gonna be trying to figure something out. Mon here on the left hand side. We do have Rage Kid though to be able to get that takedown onto Burrito using that guard. A dash on it already from Blade. Circuit beat up a kill on the Afterrain. And here comes Matty and Mon again. Tell the Tigers they were prepared this time. The Apex Samurais took way too long before initiating, and the hesitation will cost them their lives and give a wish back to the Teletigers. 11-11. We are still tied up in this game here, Yilu.
Oh wow, it's literally just them like throwing haymakers and punches at each other. I don't think I've ever seen this, two teams that were so closely matched in terms of skill in a very long time. It's just one of those, I'd say, El Clásicos. This is like the start of those rivalries that we're starting to see here, not just based off of AAP stuff, but up until Valorant, these guys are still so tightly matched. Now, change of pace, change of tempo. Like quick control here towards A, but there's only one player on the other side of it, and that's one player you do not want to mess with. Now two on towards the back of the side. Position revealed. Can they commit onto it? Can they capitalize? Doesn't look like it's now.
Dash though, and here we go, Matty into the corner, but the shots keep coming. They know that he's there, but Matty's still able to shoot his way out that one until Burrito will get that takedown. But Exia taking advantage until Afterrain is able to use that frenzy to get the kill as well. And unbelievable takedowns are just the definition of this series. And as the Seekers are hunting for that intel, it's still gonna be 2v2. The chance was made here by the Apex Samurais. They see a miracle waiting in front of them, and they're named Apex Samurais Miracles for good reason. Still though, the Nova Pulse comes online, gets the stun onto to give a chance here from one and go to push, but the guiding light comes from Afterrain, and it will lead him to take care of the action. But Cirque is still there, away from the action, gets that takedown. A great effort with the birdie, but no, the Teletigers is able to catch that predator, catch their prey even, and give them the match points.
Yeah, wow. 12 to 11.
Match point.
That almost went Tamarao's way for a second there. It came down to like a 2v2. They even picked up the rifles. My God, I have no idea how that even came to be there. That should have never even happened. Now we're looking at match point for Tele Tigers. Fortunately for Tamaraos, that was just an eco for them. Whatever, they'll play for the overtime. They were happy to do it. The operator does come out here from Matthew. He's been quite good on it as well. So this should be interesting as it's now still a full buy for both of these teams here. Quick flash coming on in. And Exi is trying to play that close angle. Now will get away from it. Does have the support behind him. They added the Sentinel towards A just to reinforce it a little bit more. And so that might be a little bit more difficult here for the Apex Tamaraos to deal with.
Yeah, but this is it, the penultimate round, last round of regulation, and both sides just investing whatever they can. And operator though all the way by the C side. So for the Tamaraos, at the very least, they do have that lockdown to play out if need be. The Tele Tigers though go back to their roots, watching out for many of these angles. And this kind of play from the Tamaraos does tip the scales a bit more in favor of the Tele Tigers if the Killjoy peeks it out. Waiting game right now for Apex Tamaraos. And overall, this game has just been something to watch out for. The Tamaraos impressing on the attacking side. The Tele Tigers figuring out their stuff on the attack and the defense. And it really goes to show for the Tamaraos even that they were able to contest from that second map onwards to give us this kind of show so far. Closest quarterfinal we've had all day. Closest quarterfinal we have all playoffs. And here we go. This might be the push to seal the deal for one of these two teams as it's looking to be an 8-take here, Ilu.
Oh, good pick off right there. It's a 1-for-1 exchange. So now site is vulnerable. Exia position is revealed, but instead of falling back, he doubles up on it. He goes a little bit further in. Knows though that he has a teammate kind of close enough to him to provide additional support. The dash comes through. Nobody really falling prey to it though. Up until Exia does go down, the operator will actually be still in the picture. They can't get it. The spike does go down anyways. Now with 3v4 here, Apex Tamaraos with a little bit of an advantage. They could take us to overtime.
Yeah, here we have it. Man advantage, position advantage, but the Blades are going to be the ones to watch out here for Matt. The Burrito all the way though on the short side. Question is, can the Killjoy get the angle in the first place? Time is ticking. It's going to be dicey here for the side of USD, but they're able to slice and dice. Mates there anyway. The right click doesn't connect, and Matty just falls down on the ground as a corpse. Error right now. We'll figure out the solution. He has found the problem. He has found the answer, and he has found his team on an overtime situation. We are not done, Ilu! No, cancel your dinner reservations, cancel your plans, because this is still this game going. 25 takedowns for both guys, and neither Tamaraos nor the Tele Tigers want to be eliminated tonight.
I mean, I kind of called it like at the very start of the game. I was like, if there's any game that's going to go to overtime, it's going to be this one. Lo and behold,
I thought you called the restaurant to cancel your plans already.
Yeah, the moment I saw that it was like already 4-4, I was like, sorry, can we push this back a little bit? I feel like there's gonna be a little bit of a delay on my end. But yeah, Apex Tamaraos, man, they avoid defeat, and I'm not surprised at all. They have just been showing that they are very much capable of coming back from any deficit that you throw their way, and you know, again and again and again, they're showing how much class, how much finesse they have, whether it's on the attacking side or the defensive side. Now it's up to them to break the deadlock though. Sure, they got the overtime, but can they get the win?
Guiding Light though getting that intel, and for the time being, here we go again with the Apex Tamaraos now playing it slow and steady rather than fully committing. They're a bit afraid of the setup here for the Tele Tigers between the Astra and the Sky on site. The Killjoy and the Sova are going to be there as well, and really it's such a good read here for the side of UST. Again, their tactics bringing them the intel that they need, but then again the rotate is going to come from the Killjoy as the Tamaraos still do not want to commit so far. Shock Dart flies on by. We still have the Tele Tigers here though, waiting for the opportunity, and in this instance the Tamaraos right now just still playing that waiting game. So links being held, B-side being watched out for, but this looks to be a one big push that UST needs to be successful with if they want to get this round here, Ilu.
Oh yeah, well, 5v5 though. Timing just goes for Matthew. Nice spray down. I don't know how he saw Blade there, but Regardless, the outcome was the same. 4v4, make that a 3 as Exia gets one, traded out immediately. Error, they go 1-for-1 here. Meitsu looking to push up close. There is still a player lingering here towards A just to make sure that nobody's catching off any flanks, nobody trying to go for any cheeky pushes, but it is going to be a straight up retake here towards that B site. They do have Meitsu already who has the back, but it's a 1-for-1. Oh my god, 1 versus 1 right now. Meitsu the last, I don't even know where this came from, but Exia gets 3. Where?
Unbelievable!
Switching sides.
We're just flabbergasted, aren't we? This is really this game just destroying our expectations time after time here, Ilu. How many times have we seen a round that's supposed to go one side, go the other so quickly, and then sometimes it goes one side to the other and the pendulum swings back all the way on the opposite end. Unbelievable sights from Apex Samuraus and the Tigers. You won't get games like this rather than watching the MGA, the MSI University Championship, and really these collegiate squads, they're pushing each other to the limit. They're pushing each other to the test right now. It's not just a test of who can be sharp from one round to the other, but it's becoming this endurance marathon that these two sides are not willing at all to give up on.
Well, these guys, they just don't want to back down for good reason. Awaiting them versus Arcus all the way at the very end of this tournament. Now they are trying to keep themselves alive, the tournament life. Apex Tamraus, they do not want to go out, to have come so far only to fall so short would be absolutely nothing short of a heartbreak. They'll want to push it a little bit further, trying to hang on a little bit more. With a timeout like this, they definitely want to keep their nerves in check, because it can't get away from you in matches like these that are just so expository of the just the composure of any team. If you're shaken up, if you're nervous, now is not the time to do it. They have to pull in, get themselves together. We have to get this round. We have to get to overtime. But Matthew looking to deny. He does get one. He does get one shot off, and it's only towards the Trailblazer, sure. And the information is given, but does actually make it a little bit more difficult for them to take the Sewers position.
Just shades of trench warfare, guys. Say, if you peek out first from your little hidey hole, if you're the one who breaks formation and your team's not ready for it, that is how you fall in this waiting game right now. Deadlock yet again. Stand still between these two teams, and we go all the way to the overtime. But Matty, the smoking gun, is the big difference maker. The operator making it smart. The Tigers, they want to get this win here, Yulu.
Like this play by Matthew, he gets that one pick off, goes and rotates towards a different site, allowing the Sentinel to come and claim the place towards that A site. Since the utility has already been placed somewhere else, it's a body that they can't afford to lose. Even if they do lose Exia here, it's not the it's not the end of the line. It's not the worst thing. So it's a pretty good idea. It's a pretty good decision to actually put Exia here, maybe try to get one, and even if he doesn't get one, it's still just a 4v4. So interesting play. And especially on a retake, it's the Sentinel that you don't really want 100%. Now they're going to try and go for it still. They want to persist here towards that A site. They should be able to get that spike down. Up until that one kill. Okay, things are looking good here. 5v3, Tigers in the lead.
Yeah, the Tigers are already smelling blood here on A side, and here we go with Matty yet again, hunting him down and getting that sure shot. Burrito now gonna be alongside the Astro here to try and stay alive. Meitsu sticking by the faults yet again, but he will fall as well. The operator is gonna be the coup de grace that the Tigers are looking for, and there you have it. Exio with the final kill at the very end of this marathon. We got our Blue Ribbon Award, and it will be given to the Tigers. A flawless victory at the very end, and they have basically booked themselves a rematch with LG Terra into the semifinals. Both of the first qualifiers making it on the other side of the semifinals. In the meantime, it's LPE Sparrows versus Virtus Arcus, and here we have it, Illustrada. We have our top 4 for next week.
Absolutely. We have been waiting quite a while to find out who it is, and now we do have our top 4. Big congratulations. Tigers. Things got very rocky, especially in that overtime, but it all amounts to this. They take it in overtime, not the most convincing of wins, but they pull it out in the end. It has been a lot of fun here, but yeah, that has been a very, very successful day, I think, for all of these teams. Tiger performing obviously to expectations. We expect nothing but amazing things from all of these teams, but in the end, they come out with that victory.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They still get the victory. It's been a shaky road, honestly, for the Tele Tigers, not just here in the playoffs themselves, but also in the qualifiers. And FEU, in the meantime, still fighting right there, looking to make that miracle to happen. And just an incredible effort from so many of their players so far. Really, the pickup there from After Rain, from Burrito. You gotta watch out for the squad into the future. But that is just about it for us, guys. It is getting late. We have gone the distance, Elo. We have really made it to the very end. Sulit na sulit talaga ang huli nating quarterfinals. And we have saved the best for last for you all. But really, the playoffs, they're not done. May next week pa tayo. Friday, we got those semifinals. Saturday, we got the grand finals of the MGA MSI University Championship. You're going to expect us to be there. You're going to be expecting the great teams to still fight. And our top 4 are going to look to do battle. But before we go, Elo, anything else you want to say before we wrap things up?
No, it's just like an absolutely amazing time, and I'm looking forward to seeing more. But before we do let you guys go, do want to give a big thank you. Make sure to check out Akadarina on TikTok. They do have their own TikTok where you can see memes, gameplay, other student life videos. You can check out Akadarina on TikTok. It's at Akadarina if you are part of their first 100,000 followers. First 1,000 followers, you get a chance to win some of the weekly giveaways. And of course, post or tweet with a hashtag AA TikTok giveaway to make your entry count.
And maybe hashtag Illustrada Dance. TikTok ni Ilu? When? It's gonna happen. When is it gonna happen? But thank you also to our incredible sponsors, because the MGA University Championships wouldn't be a thing without our amazing sponsors and partners. This tournament is powered by MSI, our official hardware partner, Globe Telecom, our official telco sponsor, and Twitch Student, our platform partner. My name is Dax, and here with Estrada, and together with Raider that we saw a while ago, this has been it for the quarterfinals. Tune in next week here at the same page, same time. You already know that's the semifinals into the grand finals, and our top 4 will look to crown a champion. Till then, we'll see you guys in the next one. This has been the MGA.